tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, the tape. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. The tape. UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach and the bench deep. Right. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Yep. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunkered down for the tie. Hey, hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Film guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. Yeah. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Right. Kirby Smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape, the tape.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up. The tape.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Wednesday evening here on the network. As always, we got a slam-packed, loaded show for you guys tonight. It is Wednesday, which means around here we got What If Wednesday. We also have Best Bets. Somebody going to be putting them gloves on. Perhaps two people. Oh, it's right by you. Don't you worry.
I was making sure.
Don't you worry. It's close by. It's nearby. Jonathan made sure this week, after going Teddy two gloves last week, that everybody else was going to make sure that they got theirs. We got a loaded one for you. We got film notes galore tonight. Even more predictions as well. There are a lot of YouTube problems going on tonight, but we're just going to get the shot up. Chat's already been disconnected, I guess. Mm-hmm. So there's that. That's a YouTube thing. It's not an us. We're going to take the shot. We're going to get after it tonight. Hopefully you guys can enjoy and tune in as well. Hopefully it doesn't crash on us. I want to start tonight's show by asking you to hit that thumbs up. But more importantly, I want to ask you guys, start in Gainesville, guys. I want to start down there in Gainesville, where reports surfaced today that Florida is expected to fire Billy Napier as early as this weekend. For those who don't know, Florida is a 9.5-point favorite against Mississippi State this weekend, and they might win and fire their football coach. Which some people are, it might be questionative of the timing or whatnot. Everyone knows it's kind of time to go here. Everyone knew this was kind of a guy that was already on the outs, right? Was already on his way to being fired. And I think, I keep looking over there at YouTube being worried about it crashing. I just need to do the damn segment. People might be wondering why now. Even if you win, it's already decided going into this football game. First and foremost, there's a bye week coming up for Florida. But I think also they've been dragging their feet on this one. I think I told you guys on this network a couple weeks ago that the coaching world was already kind of operating as if this one was done and that this one was going to be open, and people were already eyeing it or already working their way into being a quote-unquote candidate for it when it ultimately came about. So the question we said during that segment was, what are they waiting on? I think we found out this week what they were waiting on. They were waiting on Penn State to open up. Because when you start to think about coaches that might be available for this job or might be in contention for this job or might be candidates for this job, you start talking about the same candidates and types of names that are in the job search for Penn State, right? You start talking about Division I, Power 4 football coaches who have won at a high rate. Ironically enough, James Franklin now fits that category, and Florida fans might balk at that, but that's a 10-2 football coach in the Big Ten. I think you take a 9-3 football coach right about now. I think you need that era of your football program, and you might not like that, but me saying that, but I think it's needed. I think some stability down there might be nice. But it's Kirk Cignetti. It's Eli Drinkowitz. It's the same names that are up for that job up there in that area of the country at Penn State. So I think that's why the timing ultimately came about today. Hey, boys, Mississippi State money line plus 265. Just going to throw that out there.
That's not a line I'd touch anyway. But no, you're right. This is basically Florida sitting on their hands and saying, well, we'll kind of wait to fire him. Obviously, Penn State pulls the trigger on it, and now they are the top dog in the job search for coaches. Florida's obviously going to try to follow suit here. I wonder why the timing. Why didn't you do this before, though? Like, did you expect him to rebound and save the season? What was the reason for waiting?
Well, they had to get past that four-game red shirt window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're 2 games past that now.
I know, but they had to get closer to the bye so they could get the interim some time. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, but now there's that new rule where you can't enter the portal until they hire a new coach.
Is that impacting this cycle?
I think so.
Are they just passing rules and immediately putting them in? Is that what we're doing nowadays?
I'm pretty sure it's already implemented that you have to wait until a new coach is. I would assume so. We haven't seen any Penn State players already announce that they're entering the portal, so I would assume that that is implemented right now.
Just the entire recruiting class up in fire. There at Penn State.
Yeah, big time.
Quickly.
I think this is also Florida following in the footsteps of Penn State, to where we all said on the show, we all knew, Billy Napier's fate was sealed as soon as he lost to USF. You can't lose to, at the time, an unranked football team when you're top 15 in your home venue. Unacceptable. He was gone from there, cooked. Even if he beat Texas, even off all that, we say he's a dead man walking. Credit to Penn State, because as soon as they lost to UCLA, it was like, all right, well, James Franklin's out of there. Then you lose to Northwestern as well, and they immediately pulled the ripcord on that. Didn't wait around, didn't hesitate, whereas Florida was kind of, I wonder if the Penn State job never comes open. I think Billy Napier makes it to the end of the season, unless you just continue to have these egregious losses. But I think this was a sole reaction to what they saw Penn State do and say, okay, we are no longer the top. There is a new top job on there.
My question then at that point would be, why would they wait till the end of the season? Like, what's the point in waiting to the end of the year?
That's I don't think they should have.
Obviously, because it's obvious to me that they had already made up their mind at some point, like whether it was yesterday. But to me, like, the wording and the timing of all of this, to me, reads as if they already knew what they were going to eventually do to Billy Napier, but because another team has already jumped in front of them, now it's a time where they need to pull the trigger. Or maybe they were just waiting for the bye week in general. Like, maybe they always said, hey, this Mississippi State game is going to be the last one. We're going to give the interim 2 weeks to prepare for a game plan against Georgia, and we'll just finish out the season there. I just don't think that it makes any sense for anybody. Like, if you've already made up a decision, or it seems like the fate has already been sealed, why wait for your team to play 12 games and then sit in December?
The bigger question I have here is, why is this information getting out? Like, I don't know if you guys can tell me. Like, I've heard of they're going to mutually agree to part ways at the end of the season, or they will be firing him at the end of the season. I've never heard the expectation is that he's fired at the end of the week.
You're surprised that Florida's got leaky information?
No, I'm just questioning why it is being like.
Why it is getting out? Or
yeah, like it's a bad look for the athletic administration to say, hey, everyone expects us to fire this coach.
Well, it sounds like the AD had a big meeting. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about this a little bit later, because I think I got a tinfoil hat theory. I got a big time tinfoil hat theory that if the friend of the show, Will Compton, is listening, he might not like. No, I think. We'll get to it later. I don't want to spoil it. We'll get to it later. My question about this segment, or about this topic, and Billy ultimately getting fired, is, which is a better job, Florida or Penn State?
Recent history would tell you Penn State's better.
The SEC hack in me automatically thinks Florida. But here's my thought process. If you go 10-2 at Florida for 2 years, hell, if you go 9-3 at Florida for 2 years, you're seeing year 3. If you go 8-4, 9-3, 2 years in a row at Penn State, dude, they just fired a guy that was 10-2 and had a bad year. The expectations for the next football coach are to take the fringe playoff contender, fringe playoff lock, fringe lock for 10-2 and make them an 11-1 national title contender. That's the expectation for the guy that takes the Penn State job, right? Because you just fired what I just described. You just fired 10-2. Mm-hmm. You go be that. You go be James Franklin at Florida right now. They'll take it.
Yeah, no,
they'll take that.
The expectation is certainly lower at Florida, or the baseline to say, quote, successful seasons is certainly lower in my opinion. I don't know which one's a better job, and I think the availability to resources is better for Florida just because of the proximity to the talent that you have.
Injury report just dropped. Kyron Jones out.
Bet.
With a foot. That's impactful. I mean, Ja'Cory Thomas isn't playing bad, but Kyron Jones is playing good football, particularly as a tackler. And you need good tacklers in this football game because Kejuan Lacey be making people miss.
Someone must have gotten early word in.
Yeah,
on that, it's not officially out yet.
That is a 24/7 release is what I just saw. I think a pop up in my noties.
I'm getting report pending on the official SEC site. So
yeah, that comes via Jordan Hill. Let's see if he re-reported it off anybody.
Either way, I'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep the.
I mean, I would go ahead and start writing the article and prepare for it on the.
The article is already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just have to plug the names in.
I mean, you on your business. What were we talking about?
Penn State versus
Penn State
Florida.
versus
I want
Florida.
like an individual Kyron Jones article out. He's a starter. If he's listed as out, we need to put that as an individual. Sorry, you guys have to watch us do show, but that's what happened. Or do reporting non-show in the middle of our show, but we have multiple jobs because paying the bills on this here content creation ain't for the faint of heart, to put it lightly. I have no idea where we're at. I am so scatterbrained. This whole
Penn State versus Florida. Who's the better job?
Honestly, I feel like the whole live's chalked, but we're going to figure this out.
But we don't just do a show then.
No,
still going to upload. It'll be fine.
No, yeah, we're going to do it, and we'll just upload it later.
But I think Kirby was mentioning getting into the part of Florida has better proximity to talent.
Correct.
Better available resources, all those things.
Florida has much more realistic expectations for whoever takes over that job, right? We talked about that. You talked about proximity to talent. You're 100% correct there. Recruiting historically should be easier at Florida, but Penn State has out-recruited the Gators for basically since Franklin's been there at Penn State. So I don't really necessarily want to harp on that. The proximity to talent is great, but everybody knows Florida talent is great. That's why everybody's down there recruiting them folks. Like, you still got to out-recruit now Alabama. All right, you got to out-recruit Georgia. You got to out-recruit Texas. Got to out-recruit USC goes down to Florida quite often. Like, you got to out-recruit all the people that know. It ain't no secret Florida football is good. When you go up to Penn State, like, you have to out-recruit people in the Northeast like Ohio State, but you're not out-recruiting 15 top 20 programs like you do in the state of Florida, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, it makes complete sense. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this because – I mean, recent success tells you that Penn State is a better job right now because they've been able to provide like multiple years of success under James Franklin. Now, I know that success has kind of been changed a little bit there because 10-2 maybe was acceptable at first, but now you're kind of getting past that point where you expect more there. Whereas you're right, Florida, you just want to start getting into the conversation. You just want to be relevant. You want to be talked about when November rolls around. You want to be in those discussions of, hey, here's the playoff picture of Florida versus whoever. Like, those are the conversations that you want to be in. But then you also get in this topic of, would you rather compete against the top teams in the SEC right now, or would you rather compete against the field in the Big Ten? And, I mean, right now it looks like the field in the Big Ten is Ohio State, Michigan moving forward with Bryce Underwood. Maybe you're adding Nebraska in that if that stays intact. Oregon, Indiana.
There you go. Little delayed on the Hoosiers there, big dog.
I was getting there.
It shouldn't be getting there, though. Respect the SIG. It shouldn't be I'm getting to the second best team in the Big Ten currently. That's not what it should be. It shouldn't be I'm getting to the team that's going to go undefeated this year.
My bad. No disrespect.
It probably shouldn't be that. No disrespect to Signetti. I think what's crazy, and we're going to get to this in what ifs. I think what's crazy is that it's 2025. And we realistically have to have the conversation about why Signetti shouldn't leave Indiana to go to Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
And we're going to double down and there's realistic conversations about why should Matt Rule not leave Nebraska to go to Penn State. And I don't mean to take a shot at our Nebraska fans here, but if you would have told me that pre-NIL, I'd have been like, what? Yeah, you leave the Big Ten West opponent that can't get over 7-5 and stop playing one-score games to go to that automatic 10-win program. Like, duh. So there are people realistically looking at Matt Rule's situation right about now and going, I don't know. I don't know if I would leave. I don't know if I would go anywhere else. You know what I'm going to do for us, boys, since you guys are tapping over there on the laptops? I'm going to lock in on these Tennessee-Alabama film notes. How about that? I'm going to ISO Joe right quick. Clear the lane. I got this right here. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and rate, reviewing. If you missed any portion of tonight's broadcast due to YouTube's fault being a goofy, we are made readily available wherever you get your podcast. Just search The Film Guy Network. Here's the deal. Tennessee and Alabama face off this weekend in Tuscaloosa. That line keeps going north. I think as of recently, I've seen it as high as 9.5 in favor of Alabama in this football game. And so we obviously did a film study today. I've got the recap of it. All right. We've got Tennessee's defense and we got Alabama's defense in that film study. Spent about 47 minutes, Jonathan, about 46 and a half on that film study. And it's really, really good stuff. If you haven't watched it, let's break it down. Let's start with Tennessee's defense. Now, got absolutely obliterated, did Tim Banks in this Tennessee defense against Georgia, playing man-to-man a ton on critical downs, okay? They have really been a man-to-man identity program for quite a while under Tim Banks. I'm not going to say as long as I've studied him. I'm going to say better part of the last 2 years, all right, year and a half. And when I turned that tape on, from Jump Street till final whistle, I mean, they were a 90% zone football team. It was completely outside of their identity, right? It was completely outside of what I expected to see when I turned on the All-22. And I thought they did a really, really good job, all right, of making Arkansas walk the football, all right? Apart from one man-to-man snap that I saw in the 60-some-odd offensive snaps from Arkansas that I took a look at, they played one snap of man-to-man. Colton Hood got beat on a 40-yard explosive, and it was almost like reaching your hand in the cookie jar and getting smacked by your parent and be like, all right, no, I get it. Never mind. I'm not going to be back over there anytime soon. Same thing. They just moved to zone the rest of the football game, and I thought it was ultimately a really, really good decision for the ultimate outcome of the defense, and here's why. Look, I have made a new philosophy, boys, and I told Jonathan this today. If I were a head football coach, and you said, what are you looking for in a defensive coordinator? Because obviously I think at that point, if I were a head coach, I would have worked my way up through the offensive coaching ranks as an offensive line coach for several years and then an offensive coordinator for several years and then become a head coach, right? And so I would need help on the defensive side of the football. And during my interview processes, if anybody came in there and said, I'm a blitz pressure man-to-man football coach, I'd be like, get up out of here. Go ahead, get up out the office, all right? Because I'm looking for a zone football coach. I'm looking for a mixed zone football coach. I need you to play 4-3-6-7. I need you to see all of it, and that's not a joke, all right? I need all of it. I need all the zone coverage, humanly possible zone pressures, all of it. I don't want to see man-to-man no more. I don't. I'm out on it. I think it just leaves us exposed. I think coordinators on the offensive side of the football are way too good at rub routes, way too good at figuring it out, way too good at spacing, the hashes, all that good stuff. It makes it a 50-50 jump ball nonsense. Here's why I'm a zone football coach. Because of the outcomes in that Tennessee-Arkansas football game. Guys, Arkansas had 11 drives in that football game. 6 of them ended in giving it back to Tennessee. That's a win. Amen?
Amen.
More than half the time we getting the ball back, win. The other 5 possessions were scoring drives. That's the problem. We want to go 4 out of 11, all right? We want to go 3 out of 11. That would be most ideal. But good offense from Arkansas. Top 25 consensus offense in the sport, all right? Of those 5 scoring drives, guess what? All of them, 9 or more plays. Every single one of them, all right? That's a win. That's a win for Tennessee. They need that. They need to make teams walk it, and here's why. You can't be out here giving up 50-yard chunks against man-to-man because your best players are in the box. That's where they are. In my opinion, Tennessee's best football players are their 3 edge rushers on the defensive side of the football, right? Joshua Josephs, Jordan Ross, and Caleb Herring. They're elite. They can get home. If you leave them on the field for 12 snaps, which they did on all 5 scoring drives, they were 11 play drives, really making Arkansas earn it, right? If you leave those edge rushers on the field for 10 to 11 snaps, they're bound to make something happen. They did on the other 6 drives, sometimes creating turnovers, strip sack fumbles, right? Their best run defenders, their best run impacts are defensive tackles, all right? It's not their linebackers, damn sure not their linebackers. It's defensive tackles, okay? So leave them out there. Leave them out there. Make the opponent go multiple first downs running it successfully against Eason and against Moy, right? And against Tyree West. Make them. Because if it's just about can my wide receivers beat your defensive backs, I'm going to tell you right now, my wide receivers going to beat yours. So let's just make them walk the football. And they did such a good job in that football game. Here's the caveat, though. In my style of defense, during our interview process, we're going to talk about red zone. We're going to talk about red zone defense because you got to get off the field. You have to get red zone and third downs. The whole method is to get you in a lot of third downs and make you execute. So we better be really, really solid on third down. They've got to get better on third down, no doubt, no doubt. And they have to be better in the red zone. Now, you ain't going to face a whole lot of offenses that are better in the red zone than Arkansas because of what Taylor Green can do with his legs. Quarterback run makes it so hard to stop teams inside the 10, all right? But you can't let 5 red zone possessions on those 5 scoring drives, 4 of them end up in touchdowns and 1 of them end up in a field goal. We have to make them settle for more field goals than they do achieve touchdowns. That is first and foremost. And just a general overview of the defensive philosophy that I think they're changing, and I think for the better. The best defenses we watch are bend, don't break, right? But you can't break when you get in the red zone. And I think Tennessee's got to get much, much better about that. Again, and it's your best box player. Your best players are your box players. They don't need extra help. They don't need extra bodies in the pass. Everybody else does. The whole back end needs extra help. Now, here's the problem. They got bad run fits, Jonathan. They got really, really bad run fits, mostly at the second level. All right, they have linebacker fits that just basically lead to running backs being at the feet of the safeties really, really quickly. And they compound that issue with the fact that they got pretty poor tackling safeties, particularly one safety. Where's number 2? Not great. Not great. Doesn't really, I'm not going to say he don't want to tackle, but he's definitely I'm going to throw my shoulder at your shins type of tackler. He gets made miss quite often. He takes bad angles. And it's, how many times did we watch today where any time a defensive back from Tennessee was in the vicinity should make a play, it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 plus yards before they get the damn back on the ground. It's pretty bad in that back end right now. And that worries me about this football game. And that worries me ultimately about that defense. But they got to get, like I said, they got to get better in the red zone. Got to. So that's those guys. Any questions?
No, but I was going to say this. This year's Tennessee defense kind of reminds me of the Dallas Cowboys from last season, where you have good defensive players. Like, you have star caliber defensive players.
I have a statement from Georgia. Georgia redshirt sophomore Kyron Jones has been diagnosed with a foot injury that will keep him out indefinitely. Under the guidance of UGA's medical staff, he will consult with some of the nation's leading specialists to determine best course of treatment.
Can you send me that?
Yeah, I will.
Thank you.
That sounds like he out for a while.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, that sounds like a broken foot, probably needs to have surgery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going back, this year's Tennessee defense kind of reminds me.
And also, the chat's already hit on it. Sounds like Liz Frank.
This year's Tennessee defense kind of reminds me of the Dallas Cowboys defense from last season, where you have star players, like you have Micah Parsons, you got Trayvon Diggs, like you got these guys that can make plays for you. Like, they had 51 sacks last season and they forced 13 interceptions, did the Dallas Cowboys last season. Kind of on a similar track to what Tennessee is doing defensively, but on the flip side, the Cowboys were giving up points. I think they finished 27th in the league, 31st for points against in the league last year. So giving up points, but you're making plays. You got playmakers. You're making the havoc plays, and it's at least doing enough for you. That's kind of on the track that Tennessee is right now. On the good thing for Tennessee is that you have an offense that is counteracting that. You have an offense that is putting up points as well, being super explosive.
Fresh off a Deshaun Bishop career day as well, Jonathan. So should be interesting to see how that Tennessee defense holds up. But you're right. They need to play complementary offense. Right? They need to play complementary football, does that Tennessee offense. We talked about this. My biggest fear if I'm a Tennessee fan going to that football game would be, they just walked it 15 plays and scored, or even settled for a field goal, did Alabama. And then we go 3 and out. and then they get the ball back, walk it again, and score. And now all of a sudden they've held the ball for 15 minutes. We're going into the second quarter. We've had it once, and we're down 10-0. That's terrifying. And when you run a pace offense like they do, that sucker can happen like that. You done got the ball for 35 seconds out the first 15 minutes of the football game, and you're down 10-0. That's a nightmare scenario for everybody, but really for a pace offense like what Tennessee runs, like what Mississippi State runs, like what Ole Miss runs. If you get down early and down quickly, it's hard to play, even catch up from behind in an explosive offense like that, because it's very easy to go 3 and out quickly and hand it back out there and expose your defense a little bit too long and ultimately leave those guys to get gashed. I got notes on Bama's defense. You want them?
Before you do, that
What's
quote
up?
was from the University of Georgia Athletic Association.
Yeah. I mean, it came from email via Leland.
Okay.
That's UGAA, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm quoting
you're
right.
good.
All right.
You're good.
Yeah, what's with this Bama defense?
Hey, man, they getting hell up off the field on third down. Question for you boys and the chat. Gun to your head, you got to draft one. LT Overton or Keldrick Falk?
I'm going to go Keldrick Falk.
Hater. Who you got?
I'll go LT.
Okay.
They're both great, but the pass rusher is the most valuable player in defense.
I do really like Keldrick Falk.
LT Overton for me. Not only because the whole entire family must listen to the show, but because he's a great football player.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
They're both very
but
good
they're both
athletes.
damn
He's
good.
a
They're
happy
both
breeder.
damn good, and they've been featured heavily on this channel as of late. Let's talk about the actual Bama defense. I wanted to get that out there. This defense is getting off the field on third down consistently, making plays on the ball. I think that's the most important thing. We watched it in the second half, most importantly, or most specifically, breaking balls up. Like they have winners, does Missouri, and Bray Hubbard's making plays on the ball, right? Keon Saab's making plays on the ball. Everybody but Damani Jackson's making plays on the ball. Everybody's making plays on the ball. So it's really, really fun to watch on third down right now. Obviously, Clay Rousseau got hurt against Georgia, and he's been out for a little while. But this dude, number 42, and forgive me, Mr. Pierre, if I pronounce this incorrectly, Yanze Pierre, he is playing great ball. Not just like, oh, holy hell, what a great athlete. No, holy hell, how dialed is this guy? Like how keyed into his reads is this guy? 42 is moving first and moving fast, often, to the point where I watch him and I'm like, don't know if there's any drop-off. Don't know if there's any drop-off right about now with what I saw from number 4 with regards to crazy. I think this guy's a better off-ball linebacker than what they were trying to do with Rousseau.
Really?
Yeah, Rousseau's a better rusher. Rousseau's a better edge player, all right, if he gets put in those positions. But that kid is balling. Former 5-star, forgotten about little. So says Peasy, my man in the chat, or Alec, my man in the chat. But man, holy hell, great ball player, playing elite football right about now for this Alabama defense. Hey, how about that flash from London Simmons, the
Crazy.
freshman?
True freshman.
I mean, that was some juice. That was some elite juice, like Walter Nolan. I was saying, like when you see 300-pounders with first step twitch lateral ability, like whoa. Like most big guys can go north. They can go north. Not a lot of them can go east and west. All right. So the guys that can do both are really, really high level prospects for me. They're high value targets for me. Bray Hubbard's playing really, really good ball. Basically, since he went viral for loafing, he's been playing elite football.
Yeah.
Not to close the I mean, that was snap 17 of that football game. So not the remaining 50 snaps of that FSU game. But after that, elite football from Bray Hubbard. I mean, he's even got Mel Kiper on the sauce. You seen this?
Yeah, you said number 2 safety on the board.
Number 2 safety on the board. I think that's a little high for me.
Yeah, a little rich for my blood.
Little rich for my blood. Also loved what they did out of their dime package, letting him basically play Mike linebacker. Kirby, have you seen this?
I saw him do it a little bit against Missouri.
On automatic passing downs against Missouri late in 2-minute drills, they put him basically at Mike 7 yards off the ball and played like an inverted Tampa.
Yeah, like the Tampa 2 robber there.
Yeah.
I like that.
But actually, I take that back. They did it out of a cover 3 prevent, didn't they?
No, pull it in.
What's going
What
on?
was
It was in the camera.
Oh, it was
shot.
in the camera
Thank
shot.
you, Jay Will.
No, I think they actually did it out of a cover 3 prevent, Kirby. They dropped 3 deep.
Really?
Yeah, and played dime and had him basically roving in the middle of the field. I love this new Tampa 2 rover, by the way. Tennessee dusted it off a little bit. I'm calling it Tampa 2 rover. I don't know what other people are calling it. But it's really not a true inverted Tampa. Like, yeah, if somebody runs through the mid-hole in the middle of the field, the guy that's running that rover position's got to turn and run. But, I mean, that rare it only happens versus 3-by-1, and it only happens normally to clear people out. Like, unless you're Ohio State and it's a Mecca Ibuka, you're never throwing that ball. It's an I love football round most of the time, but I love seeing that, and I love Bray Hubbard doing it because it allows him to play downhill. I think he is a downhill football player. I don't necessarily love him turning and running. I want him coming downhill and hunting. All right. What's that say right now? Only question right now is number 1, Damani. It's bad.
Yeah, just some questionable plays.
It's so. That's what I love about what we do. There's a lot of things that I love about what we do. But, yeah, the chat's right. 48 likes on this stream is crazy low. Crazy low. It's one thing that I love about what we do is because when you see people that are playing like their hair's on fire and then you see the one wet nap out there, it's like, come on. You know? Like, come on, dude. We gotta button up. You know, and I think that's where I'm at right now with number 1. I think I'm a little less angry about it than the Alabama fan base seems to be. And you know me, I'm normally like, hey, we can't be the one of the 11 not doing our job.
Right.
You
Definitely.
know what I mean? So there's that. Schematically, man, I have one big question. In this football game, right? They have been such a good disguise team in the back end for the last, I don't know, basically since they played Georgia, so the last 4 games. How do you do that against pace? And this isn't even like a question for analysis purposes. I'm not even going to answer it. I'm more asking my football coaches that are listening tonight, especially my defensive coaches. How do we disguise what we're playing, meaning rolling safeties or bumping coverage, or, hey, we're going to line up in 2 high, but really we're going to play 1 high. Hey, we're going to line up in what looks to be a cover 3 shell, but really we're playing cover 6, and the whole safety is actually, the buzz safety is actually going to get over to a high hat and play a high hole. How do y'all do that against teams that snap the football every 15 seconds? I don't know, because I would imagine everything pre-snap against pace teams is about just getting your damn cleats in the ground, getting aligned perfectly, and getting aligned correctly against the team that's playing really fast. Do you have any ideas for this? How on earth do you play with disguises against a team that plays with as much pace? Georgia's got the same question. Like, how do you lie to the coordinator?
The only thing and we did this again, it was high school football, but the only thing we did was we decided what we were disguising. If you're in cover 4 or you're cover 2, you're in a 1 high look. So shells like that to where it's just pre-decided to where we're going to lie automatically, and then when it gets time to get ready for the snap,
it's opposite day.
Back up. Yeah, exactly.
It's opposite day. If we say we're playing 2, or if we say we're playing cover 3, line up in cover 2, get into cover 3.
Right.
Boundary safety rolls down.
Exactly.
Okay.
So stuff like that. But again, you can get caught in some bad situations if they start rolling that tempo quickly. And you're in the middle
if you
of
say red and I thought you said blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, not just that. When you're rolling back to the cover 2 shell and they've already snapped the ball.
Yeah.
Now you're in trouble. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but that's the best way we ever did it, was basically we're just playing opposite day out here. Mm-hmm. But that's also fairly easy to figure out. Okay, they're gonna lie to us anyway. So cover 2 really is cover 3.
Not if you're Bo Pribula.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Which that was another note on that, but we could save that for a different day. I have no more coaching criticisms for Kenny Womack, to be honest. I think he's learning and improving, or at least been there long enough to where they can develop the full system. Like you didn't see any double mugged looks in that football game, did you? Mm-mm. Now they're a wide zone stretch football team, so that would make sense. We don't want Mikes and Wills in the A gap when they might be stretching to C. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I just, every time I watch them now, I don't have anything where I'm like, what are you doing, bro? You know? And there was a good bit of that last year. So good on him. You know? Big time learning. I went back last year and looked at what Alabama did versus Tennessee's offense. Any thoughts? Any questions?
I'm sure it's completely different than what they're doing now.
It's probably very good.
Offensively, yeah. I mean, Tennessee looks totally different, but you always have to be curious, how do you line up versus wide choice? Because no matter how much different the Tennessee offense is, you still going to get some wide choice. Mm-hmm. He was a 3-down guy, which he's kind of a 3-down guy now anyways, and Rover's the 4th, but the 4th is in the box. But, I was just curious. How did you line up against it last year? So there you go. Those are my film notes on those defenses.
Who do you think's got the advantage right now?
Defensively, Alabama. Yeah.
In comparison to the offenses they're facing.
Alabama. Because Tennessee is going to play, if they play a bunch of zone, they're going to get walked. Like I'm telling Tennessee fans right now, he's going to move the football on Saturday. He is. The question is, on 3rd and 9, can you win those 8 out of 9 times? Or can you win those 5 out of 9 times? That's it. Can you win 3rd and, first of all, can you earn the right to get him into that, all right, over that 12-play drive, right? But can you get off the field on 3rd and 9? That's what will ultimately determine that football game. It's not going to be I don't think anybody's going to utterly dominate those guys. I didn't feel like Missouri felt like that in the first half, but it's also they weren't touching the ball all that much in the first half, was Alabama. So I don't know. I don't see anybody like really fully stopping them. I didn't feel like that happened Saturday either. I could be wrong. I mean, the edge rushers were a problem on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. The mindset going into this game for Tennessee has got to be, we know we're going to give it up defensively, and that's okay, but we also feel like our offense can put it up with anybody. Like that's your biggest thing going into this game is you can score at the rate that Alabama can. You just got to make sure that you're getting one more stop than Alabama does against your offense.
And it's also, go ahead. We'll give you the quiet. Oh, man.
Ooh, oh,
boys, this might be, honest to God, I'm very critical about my own performances. This is the worst 35 minutes to start a show I've ever had. Like a good 2 years. It's just not me. Not catching Lucy breakers,
Stadium Pulse.
Stadium Pulse is through the roof right now. Distraction. I'm not dealing with problems. Sudden change.
Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. You got punched in the face and plan went to crap.
You know what? This is what I need right now. I need a pep up. I need a pep talk right now. Pep up.
Well, how about you start swinging back?
I'm rattled, Jonathan.
Start swinging back.
You're right. Hey, toe the line. Let's get together. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Let's go. Breaking news.
Breaking news right now?
Breaking news.
Oh, wait. I think I know what this is.
What is it?
Did something just hit your desk?
Yes, something just hit my desk right here in my notes that I wrote an hour and a half ago. You know what they are?
I know what it is.
They're quarterback rankings.
Ooh.
Yep. You want SEC or the national list first?
Let's go to the SEC.
I'm going to give you the national list first.
All right.
Number 1, Ty Simpson. Boy's balling.
Expected.
Boy's balling. Oh, but Brooks, he had 200 yards. Look at his 3rd down and 4th down tapes. Look at his 3rd down and 4th down tapes this year. Find me a better quarterback. Come back to me. You probably won't. Fernando, almost called him Francisco again. Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza, number 2. Hey, you beat my number 1 quarterback. Your defense made my number 1 quarterback from 3 weeks in a row look like a relatively young football player. Question what he was seeing that in Dante Moore. So Fernando Mendoza, who was a top 5 performer on my list to date at this point, gets into the inside the top 3. Was number 1 last week, drops to number 3 this week. Dante Moore out there at Oregon. Number 4. And test number 1 of the night for my producers who tend not to listen to the show. The big mother chucker. Who is it? No answer from you, Jonathan.
Oh, so you're going to call me out and then tell me that I can't defend my own honor.
I know you're locked in.
You're going to accuse
How about
me of
Vacation Kirby over there?
It's the Baylor quarterback.
It's the Baylor
quarterback.
I can't remember his name.
Sawyer Robinson, number 4. Maybe, see, if we were some Fugazi show that didn't mind exposing our own selves and our lack of knowledge occasionally, we would have saved him right there. Mm-hmm. There's no way we would have been like, yeah, you're right, Baylor quarterback, the Sawyer Robinson. But instead, we're okay wallowing in the filth right quick. My man didn't know Sawyer Robinson's name, but he's a big mother chucker out there, and he's getting it done. Number 5, Carson Beck.
Okay.
Number 6, going to see him this weekend, 3rd Saturday in October, Joey Aguilar, or as they're calling him, little Joey football. You like that? What are you calling him? How about Joey Aggs?
I don't like it. I think that a nickname for a player like Johnny Manziel, that's a one-timer. I don't want spinoffs of it. That is Johnny football, only Johnny football.
Ain't no remakes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, nah. Unless it's Too Fast, Too Furious. That's dynamite. Number 7, first-time appearance in the top 10, went all the way from a high CU inside the top 10, CJ Carr. Notre Dame's own.
Yep. The study helped a lot.
I'm sipping the Kool-Aid. I'm sipping the Kool-Aid.
At first, when you said all the way from the ICU, I was like, what happened to him? What do you mean from the
That's a
ICU?
good
Is he all
point.
right?
I didn't think about
okay?
that. All the way out of the ICU. Number 10 on my list, John Mateer.
Really? Still on the
Literally.
Wow,
list.
didn't tank him, huh?
Literally. I went from 7 to 10 just to get that joke in. John Mateer was literally, basically in the operation room like 17 days ago. So people were like, wow, didn't watch Red River. I'm like, no, dude, I watched the first 4 games of this guy play ball, and we all agreed he was one of the better football players, not just quarterback, football players in college football this year. And, dude's playing with a damn surgery wound on his thumb. So, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and drop him all the way out of my list, giving me him at number 10. Let's go back to number 8, the Buckeye, Julian Sayin.
He is playing really well right
Playing
now.
very efficient football.
He's doing everything that you need out of him for that offense to be successful.
Absolutely. Number 9, Demon Williams.
I like this guy.
Yeah, he is playing good.
I think probably the most slept on this list.
Number 10, the wounded warrior himself, John Mateer. We already talked about it. I see you, Malik Washington. I see you, Trinidad Chambliss. You were a top 10 guy up until this point. I see you. I see you, Jaden Maeva. I see you.
Yeah, he might creep into
Certainly
this
was-
list.
And you already know. I've already seen Darian Mensah. I'm a big time Darian Mensah lover.
He has an opportunity this weekend.
Got big time opportunity.
Big opportunity.
I think there needs to be a caveat under that, similar to these are not power rankings or whatever. These are not how I would draft these guys, because I'm drafting a healthy Garrett Nussmeier still. Probably not in front of all of these guys.
Really?
Yeah, for me it would be Mendoza 1, Beck 2. And then is Dante Moore coming out? Let's maybe wait for some more seasoning. I would if I was his agent, based off what we saw against Indiana. If he can be confused like that, we probably need some more reps in college ball. But after that, I would get into the Nussmeier discussion. I would get into the Lenore Sellers discussion. I would get into the Darian Mensah discussion.
Interesting.
I think we might see 5 guys go in that top 40.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Certainly.
and
seems
those
like
would be that's who I'm circling.
SEC.
SEC. Number 1, Ty Simpson. Number 2, Joey Aguilar. Number 3, John Mateer. Number 4, Trinidad Chambliss. The second time today, my brain said, it's Chaz. No, it's not. Number 5, Gunner. Number 6, Marcel Reed. Number 7, Taylor Green. Number 8, Arch Manning. Number 9, Diego Pavia. Number 10, nobody.
Nobody. Who's that?
Yeah, we're getting to that point in the season. We're getting to that point in the season where I'm watching Garrett Nussmeier throw picks in the red zone that my junior varsity quarterback would get benched for. If he had some comp, you know what I mean? If he didn't, we'd probably have to ride out with him and just give him a butt chewing. But off the spoon permanently on Lenore Sellers, you know how I am on that.
So my question is, why isn't Taylor Green higher?
So my also one of the other caveats is I got to take you and yours and go score 50. I got to take you in your current setting and go score 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I ain't doing that one. I do think their offensive line is better than most people think.
Mm-hmm.
They're really athletic. They can get it done. So
If you had a gun to your head,
Ooh.
you got to put someone at 10. Who is it?
tasty.
Whoa.
Probably Nuss still. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think he's a bad football player, but god dang, the decisions, man.
Yeah.
God, it makes me angry.
They're killer.
You know what else is killer? Having a whiteboard that doesn't get redone. I mean, was it that important to let people know?
Wow.
Was it that important to let people know twice that PFF grade's terrible?
I mean, hey, they made the decision to put that grade out there. All right. So, yeah, I think it was important to remind the people again.
I don't know if Quentin Dormady needs double shouts.
Yeah, you might be right there. all
You
right?
know what I mean?
You
Come
might
on, bro.
You might have slightly forgotten about
Lock
the
in.
whiteboard.
Lock in.
Hey, I was doing show work, all right?
Hey, honestly, it's on me because at 7:51, I marked it in my head. I saw it. I figured I was going to let you do your job.
No,
I was
got
not
caught
going to
up with a lot of
micromanage.
things.
I was going to let you do your job. But you know
Well,
what?
thank you for believing in me.
And also calling you out on live stream.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need it.
You're welcome. We're way behind as usual. Let's get into predictions. Louisville at Miami, boys. What do you got for me?
I honestly threw this one in here.
Friday night freaky ACC.
Yeah, it is. But I honestly threw this one in here because I was like, are we going to get to talk about a Miami prediction again this season after this one? Like, they're kind of
Probably
running
not.
out of these important games.
So this is forced into the notes by yours.
Yeah, but I also think, again, like a Friday night game, we saw what happened to Florida State when they went up to Virginia on a Friday night. We'll see what happens with Miami. Now, Miami, they may not be, but I think they're around the number of a 14.5-point favorite in this one, so they're expected to handle business. I'd say the keys to the game, though, are the only way that you are going to be able to disrupt this Miami passing offense and Carson Beck is you got to make this guy move around. You got to disrupt the pocket. You got to make life uncomfortable to where he can't just sit there and operate, because that's what he's been able to do so far this year, because newsflash, their offensive line is really, really good, and they're protecting that guy. So Louisville's got to find a way to create some type of havoc on this team. Then for Miami, just play clean. Don't have any stupid turnovers. Yeah. Don't do anything unnecessary. Don't have a crap load of penalties. Just play clean, and you're going to be fine.
Yeah, that was key to the game for me. Number one, not necessarily play clean, but like, dude, just show up and handle business, Miami. Like, come out and wire to wire finish too. Like, I want to see them finish a football game. We talked about this after their most recent like massive win over Florida State. Was like, still don't feel like you finished either of these, any of these football games. Didn't feel like you finished dominantly against Florida. Didn't feel like you finished against Florida State, especially defensively, giving up late scores. Didn't feel like you finished against Notre Dame. Felt like you were stagnant in the second half there. Go out and dominate wire to wire like you should, like I think you should, over this Louisville football team. For Louisville, man, and this one comes with a big caveat of good luck you won't do it. Don't let Ruben Bain wreck the football.
Oh, buddy, I've got a stat for you.
He's gonna. Go ahead.
That's my key to the matchup, is just protect the offensive line. Louisville is 112th in sacks per game this season with 2.6. They are 111th in tackles for loss allowed with 6.4 a game.
Hey, Miller, you better bring your track shoes, buddy.
Yeah. And by the way, Miller Moss isn't playing outstanding football when he's under pressure.
Find your hots, Miller. Find your hots. Check into the flats, Miller.
I think this has the potential to be a butt whooping.
Don't count out the whisper.
Vegas would agree with you.
X factor in this football game. I know Isaac Brown's probably been banged up based off the usage, but have you seen these stats on Isaac Brown?
Yeah, he's averaging like 7.8 yards per carry.
Yeah, 7.3 yards per carry right now is Isaac Brown. Our season high in totes, though, 15.
Yeah.
So he's been very banged up, but still efficient. Ride the horse this weekend. You know what I mean? Ride the horse this weekend. See if you can get some explosives. I think that's the X factor for me. But outside of that, man, maybe the quarterback whisperer.
Same note for me, though. I put it as Isaac Brown. No, I put it as Isaac Brown. I think that, like, if Louisville is going to – I don't want to say keep up with this Miami offense, because they're not just pouring it on people. But, I mean, if you are going to be explosive, if you are going to put up points consistently – it's probably going to have to be with your running back helping you out, getting you into field position quickly. He's been one of their best explosive playmakers. He's the X factor for me, outside of all the great players that Miami has. If I had to pick one for Louisville, that's who it would be.
Louisville's offensive line is the X factor for me. Like, how well they perform in this game is going to determine the outcome.
Boys, there's a known QB whisperer in this football game.
Mm-hmm.
That title shifts. Shannon Dawson crowned the new QB Whisperer. This is for QB Whisperer pink slips, boys.
Ooh.
Loser leaves the keys.
Stakes are heavy.
Loser leaves the keys. Shannon Dawson, new quarterback whisperer. You heard it here first. Unless it doesn't happen. I mean, did it with Cam Ward, turn around doing it with Carson Beck. There's far more valid quarterback whisperer claims than what my man from Louisville's got going on.
This is true. I would agree with that 100%. Going to kind of Kirby's point, this is mindless. It doesn't happen because I also have the stat pulled where Louisville ranks where they are for sacks allowed this season. It's bad. They're in the bottom half of college football for it. So Ruben Bain, 3 sacks this weekend. He's going to keep rising up the Heisman ranks. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
This is a Friday night ACC matchup, so things are going to get a little weird. I have Miami going down 14 points in this game, but still finding a way to win. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Miami wins this ball game 31-17. A little late score from the quarterback whisperer before he hands the title back to Shannon Dawson.
I got a 34-21 Miami.
Give me 35-24 Canes.
Hey, W gifted in the chat. 5 gifted from Alec. Big W gifted.
W gifted.
Big W gifted in the chat. Make sure you claim those. Oh, they're already claimed immediately.
Shocker.
Big dubs in the chat. W5 gifted.
Oh, hell no. Are we starting that?
Are we respawning on C? Georgia Tech at Duke, boys. Speaking of my Mensa, my beloved Mensa. What do you got here, Jonathan? Keys to the matchup for me. How about that Duke Blue Devils practice prep against this Georgia Tech offense, right? That Manny Diaz preparation against this Georgia Tech offense. For Georgia Tech, I think the key here is keeping Mensa off the field. I think Mensa is going to put up some yardage. He has every single game this year, okay? So maybe against Illinois kind of struggle with turnovers at least. But other than that, like you gotta keep this guy off the field. He's going to put up points against you if you don't otherwise. Maintaining possession is always the key for Georgia Tech in any big win.
For me, it goes with Duke's defense. I think that Manny Diaz is going to have to get a little creative in their run defense. Duke has been pretty sound for rushing defense this year, but as you mentioned, this is a different animal that you're going up against. This isn't your traditional college football run game. They do things a little bit differently. Buster Faulkner does a really good job implementing Haynes King in a lot of different ways. So I think Manny Diaz got to create something special for them. And then for the flip side, I think that Georgia Tech might have to win this game through the air because of how good Duke's run defense has been this year. Duke ranks 42nd for rush defense, but 116th for pass defense.
I'm going to cut you off before you give me your key to the matchup. X factor for me is what you're talking about right now. Boys, did you know that Haynes King's completing 72% of his passes this year?
He's playing really well.
He's playing really well through the air. It's his right arm. His X factor is the right arm every time because we talk so much about this run game. But if they're completing 3/4 of their passes, dude, I don't care if it's for 185 yards. What do you do? Because all of those are chain movers. I would love to track the stats on Haynes King completions that are first downs, because there's not a lot of 1st and 10 passes for that guy.
Yeah,
he's averaging 7.4 yards per completion. Okay, he's not chunking it. Don't get me wrong, but most of his throws come on 3rd and 2. Most of his throws come on 2nd and 1. Most of his throws are first down converters.
I could tell you this.
You got data on this?
Give me a minute.
All right, while he's looking that up, the X factor for me is Duke. How early can you create the car wreck? What I mean by that is we've watched a lot of Haynes King football games at Georgia Tech now, and by the 3rd and 4th quarter, that guy's body is hanging on for dear life. He looks like he has been in a car wreck. If you can get him physically out of shape in the first few drives of that game and beat up on him, you might have a chance of getting some turnovers or getting some bad plays from him. So that's what my key factor. I don't know if Brooks' mic is on, but he said Colorado is the counterpoint there. He played damn near dead. He also had a couple of turnovers in that game, if I remember correctly. So Colorado just wasn't able to capitalize on it.
It was a corpse. The corpse.
That's what I'm saying. I think Georgia Tech had like 3 turnovers in the first half, if I'm correct about that. But either way, that's why I have the X factor for me is Jaden Francois, the Duke linebacker. Just be a thumper in this game and create some trouble for Haynes King.
So I can't get any data from him on 2nd and 3rd down, but I do have first down data for Haynes King. He is 40 of 52 on the season for 463 yards. 18 of those throws have gone for a first down.
Yeah,
wow.
them folks loading up for run and getting smacked by some buster. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where we at?
I think we're going into X factors right now, correct?
I did X factor Haynes King's right arm.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yep.
Playing into that, I went Malik Rutherford, the Georgia Tech wide receiver.
Yeah, the new Eric Singleton.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to make $1.5 million from Auburn.
I don't know. That investment right now, not exactly.
Maybe it was $900,000. I can't quite remember.
It was in the millions, I'm pretty sure.
You think he got $1 million?
I thought that's what the reports were.
None of Auburn's investments are paying off right now. So
what's $1 million over like 550? Because that's about how many yards he'll probably end up having this year.
It'd be around.
I don't know.
Good math.
Moving on.
Who's your X factor, Kirby? Who did you mention?
I said Jaden Francois.
Oh, okay, all right. Unless it doesn't happen, Haynes King throws for more yards than Darian Mensah, but the Blue Devils outrush the Yellow Jackets. You heard it here first. Unless it doesn't happen. Interesting.
I'll say mine because I don't know if you're going to take it. So
you heard it here first. Haynes King sideline for unknown reasons. Aaron Philo shreds. Georgia Tech buzz. Yellow Jackets on top. You heard it here first. Off the right arm of Aaron Philo.
Vegas knows something, boys, and there's a reason why Duke's favored in this game. Give me Duke to hand Georgia Tech their first loss of the 2025 season. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Let's just go ahead and give the prediction.
I've got Duke winning 27-20.
My playoff Dukies.
Bro.
Ain't no redoing the playoff rankings around here. You gonna eat that crow?
That deserves to be laughed at. I just want you to know, like that
Okay,
deserves
K-State.
to be laughed
Okay,
at.
K-State.
Yeah, and I've accepted it.
Okay, K-State.
I hate
accepted it.
Kansas
You
State.
can laugh at me all
bought
you want.
Avery Johnson stock.
I
I
did.
bought Darian Mensah stock. Who's the idiot?
Well, you bought Duke stock in totality.
And guess what? The Dukie's head coach gonna win his way to a big time job.
He bought
You out here making fun of my Blue Devils?
He bought
Shame.
Duke
Shame
stock,
on you.
Iowa State stock, Arizona State
Hey.
stock.
And guess what? I didn't buy no Arizona State stock.
The Fighting Kenny
Cyclones,
Dillingham?
My
Blue
Cyclones
Devils,
were a Matt
my
Campbell
Doors.
endorsement, and Matt Campbell should be up for one of these big jobs. ID matches attainable talent. It's on the board. I might get it tattooed on my body one day.
Oh, wow.
He bought Diego Pavia
Really committed
stock.
to this, huh?
I'm committed to my
Manning stock.
Cyclones. I'm committed to my identity matching an attainable talent pool the day I become a football coach.
It's okay. You're a bipolar college football fan. Nobody's going to hate you for it.
Okay, Marcel Reed fan.
Yeah. As if that's supposed to be. Like,
And you're sitting
offensive?
next to an Auburn fan, and I'm getting the smoke. This
You
is
are
crazy.
not. Don't worry, Jay.
I got
you're not
Georgia
sitting
Tech
next to
pulling
me.
out a tight one. Georgia Tech 24, Duke 23.
I think one of the best football brave moments of all time is in the chat right now. That one time I went 16 weeks thinking Camp Scatterbo was Amish.
An entire season.
An
Insane.
entire season. With him in the headlines as well. Oh, absolute lunatic. Boys, what do you got in Mizzou at Auburn? I got to get my iPad and get my notes. I'm off the iPad now.
The key to this matchup for me is Auburn. Can you get off the mat? You had to face adversity in the second half of the Georgia game, and you failed miserably. Now you have to host another top 25 SEC team and get off the mat for another game after you had an extremely disappointing loss. Your coach was deflated. Your players were deflated. You've got players, getting dismissed from the team. Team captains getting dismissed from the team. What kind of Auburn team are we getting? That's the biggest factor here.
It's not even just getting off the mat, Kirby. We have to find some offense in the second half. We have to do anything. We have to find some type of pulse because I don't care who you play. You could be playing Kentucky at this point in the season, and if you don't score any points in the second half, you're going to be in trouble. Can we manufacture any type of offense in the second half? That's the biggest key for them. And then for Missouri, Bo Pribula, you're going to have to find some type of comfort zone because this Auburn defensive line is going to be getting after it. They're going to be creating some havoc. That defense is really, really good. If we can't find any type of comfort, especially on the road at night in this stadium, the Missouri Tigers are in some big trouble.
Key to the matchup for me, for Auburn specifically, how in the hell are you going to block Zion Young and Damon Wilson? I mean, that's a major problem there. On top of that, for Missouri, a very similar thing. How are you, like you mentioned, how are you going to protect Bo Pribula? I think Missouri has to run the football for 200 yards in these critical football games to win. Like if we need 400 yards of total offense today, it has to be 200 at Missouri. I don't think that Bo Pribula is going to go on the road, play clean for 4 quarters and throw it 35 times. I don't. Not based off what I've seen on film. Those last 3 plays to close that football game are very worrisome. Very worrisome.
they were bad.
It's been a while on this network since we've seen something to close out football game that's not just like bad decisions, but like everything crumbling upon us. Like our entire mechanical structure falling apart by the wayside as that football game goes on.
The leg
It was
was
very,
wet.
very concerning.
The leg was wet.
Yeah, the leg was wet. Pants were damp. Yeah, I mean.
Hate to see it.
X Factor. Keldrick Falk versus that stretch zone.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Keldrick Falk versus that stretch zone, big time X Factor. I think their defensive line can handle everything that's happening right now with Ahmad Hardy north and south. I think you have to have good defensive end play to stop that stretch, and that's where Keldrick Falk and 24, I forget his name, they come into the mix here. They're big, long, physical football players.
I went on the flip side. I went with Damon Wilson from Missouri, and maybe I just have that one play stuck in my mind of him obviously knowing what Alabama was doing on a play.
You mean 2 plays in a row?
2 plays in a row.
Yeah.
You're right. It wasn't just one play. It was 2 plays.
Knew they were passing on 1st and 10 somehow. I think they had a tell, and then blew up the screen pass on the next play.
And so going up against a Hugh Freeze offense like what they're going to see this weekend, where it's a lot of RPO based, if he can have multiple plays like that against his Auburn offense, He's been a big-time playmaker for them already, but they're going to need him to show up big time this weekend as well.
My X factor is Jackson Arnold for a handful of reasons. They had the right answers against Georgia a handful of times, and you just flat out missed the layup. On top of that, he's going to have to supplement this running game that much more now that your running back is no longer with the team. What he does in this game, how he plays, is going to be the direct correlation as to what Auburn's offense is able to do. And by the way, you might see him get benched, I would say.
Boys, I told you, I don't think Pribula goes into this football game and plays clean. You heard it here first. Auburn turns Bo Pribula over multiple times in this football game, yet finds a way to lose.
Oh,
Dang. Just
the Auburn special.
Yeah, I think we got a hearts ripped out situation going on this week.
again.
Dude, I think there's something going. I lost so many football games in college. Very Googleable. So many football games. And it becomes a point where you're waiting around for something bad to happen, even when it's good, even when it's going well. You get to a point where it's like, well, when's that next boogeyman coming around the corner? Hugh Freeze spoke about this week.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're openly talking about it, God knows how long we've been thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mine, unless it doesn't happen, is Ahmad Hardy rushes for fewer than 80 yards in this game. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen. Off the Heisman list.
Oh, this is a big game for Hugh Freeze, a get-off-the-mat type game. I've talked about it in our keys to the matchup. I don't think they're going to do it, though. In fact, I think this, when we look back on it, will be the game. If it's not immediate, it will be that. This is the game that gets Hugh Freeze fired. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Oh. That'd be is that a better job than Penn State?
No.
Better job than Florida? I'm going to say no.
Tough.
Both of those, well, I don't know. Is
It
Miami
might
a
be.
better job than Florida?
I think
It
it's an
might be.
I was going to
adjacent.
say both of those jobs are the best job in their state. Auburn is not. But I don't know if Florida is the best job in that state.
Right now, it would.
Historically, too. Historically, it's Miami.
Yeah.
And that whole entire, 3-decade run Bobby Bowden had at Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that also curtailed with Spurrier's run at Florida. So it kind of negates. There are 3 really good programs in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Missouri in classic Missouri fashion, like 24-17. Just a yuck fest, win it late.
I got Auburn winning this one. I got Auburn winning 20-17.
Yeah?
From what I saw from Bo Pribula last week, I don't love that going into this matchup.
I
And
don't love that against that defense.
Auburn has been good against the run this year. So knowing that that's what Missouri likes to really lean on, and this one being on the road, I'm not exactly loving the vibes going into this one for Missouri. I don't love the vibes for Auburn either, but for some reason I'm just feeling Auburn pulls this one out.
Give me Missouri winning this game 31-10.
Let's be really, really quick with What If Wednesdays here. Actually, we ran out.
We've got
Sorry,
What If
9
Wednesdays for the local hour.
All right.
We can hash these out tomorrow, maybe the national
Best
hour.
bets tomorrow as well.
Yeah, we can do that.
A little What If Wednesday on a
Oh,
Thursday.
you want to postpone the glove wearing?
I mean, easy double glove, J. Will.
Not this week.
Easy. Why don't you just do your job and smack people with a ditty right quick?
Hey, yo.
You know? Why don't you just do your job and ditty them?
All right.
Let's shut up and let's grind. And they gon' gas your butt. Got to expand to make these windows tighter, as tight as possible. My eyes are on him right now. I just don't know why our tight end's butt is to this area. He jumps right on it. He feels it right now. They're doing such a great job in this back end. That's what power in the hands looks like. That's what power in the hands looks like right there. Just putting them in the lap. I got beat by a ball?
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape.
To be honest, they are doing great in the back end. I mean, statistically speaking, Alabama's got the best back end in college football. A real tight back end. They don't bust a lot of assignments back there. It's just statistically proven.
We did forget Super Chubs in the National Hour.
Well, we can get them right now. Before we even tell the folks we're into a loaded local hour. Let's do Super Chubs. Big fan, Brooks. You've really helped up the ball knowledge in the past year and a half since I found you. One question for you: do you think Bama would be better off starting Dijon over Damani? Damani isn't doing anything right now. Damani is I bet Damani in practice is your best bumper run cover man-to-man corner, and that's why he's your starter. And I think Dejan still is a very good cover and long, lengthy, corner zone corner right about now. I don't know if you trust him to get up in the face of wide receivers and play meg coverage, right? Man everywhere he goes. I think Damani's supposed to be really good at that. I just don't think he's playing very inspired football right about now. So that's something I would be more concerned with. Can you read that Super Chub from CC Grelich for me, Jonathan?
I can't see it.
You sure? Can you look on YouTube perhaps and see it?
No, actually, yeah, I have no ability whatsoever to see any Super Chubs right now.
Crazy. You're a liar.
Unfortunate. So, CC Grelich, I'm sorry that I can't read your message, but YouTube is just not allowing me to pull it up right now.
Damn YouTube. DJ Ellis says longtime sub show needs to be 10 times bigger. You're 100% right. Hold My Beer said never ever count out Mizzou. I was with a girl named Kate who went to Mizzou on spring break in Daytona once. She didn't shut up about her Tigers. True passion of that fan base. Calling dubious to Hold My Beer's comment right there.
Crazy.
Maybe Hold My Beer's got game like that.
I wish Kate well. I hope she's doing.
I hope Kate's making good decisions with her life. Hope she's got a nice, sound relationship with her father. Let's get into this local hour, shall we?
Let's do it.
It's loaded. Slam packed.
Got even more loaded as the National Hour began.
We even got news to cover.
We got news to cover. I got film notes to hit. We got injury updates. We got fantasy updates tonight. What?
Yeah, we do.
We still playing that.
We got a little backlogged, but
we're updating
right.
whiteboards?
Yeah.
Good to know. Fantasy update tonight. Can Georgia take a breather after this weekend? Don't know why I said Georgia. Can Georgia take a breather after this weekend? And it's Wednesday. Though we didn't hit it in the National Hour, we're going to hit it in the local hour. We got What If Wednesdays. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Got over 800 people here on YouTube tonight. I want to see 800 likes in the chat, okay? So make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Hey, injury report. Kyron Jones sounds like a foot injury, is a foot injury. Sounds like out indefinitely, is out indefinitely. Immediate thoughts, boys.
That's really bad. That's the one room that you came in.
Sound the alarms, why don't you, big dog?
I mean, look, I'm not going to sound the alarm. I'm not panicking, but I'm saying, like, if there was one room on that defense where it was like, hey, we really can't afford an injury here, it was the safety room, and especially to a guy that's been taking the majority of snaps with ones. That's not great. That's less than ideal.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal. Good news, you took a lot of stabs in the portal to get some safeties in this room. You got Ja'Cory Thomas, who's been on this roster for a long time, so it's not like you're having to throw out a true freshman who's never played before, so that's a good thing. My question, little theory, hypothesis, why not just move Jonell back there?
That's what I was going to ask. And you've gotten to the point now where I feel like there's a tight 1-2 rotation at the corner position outside of Dalen. If you make Dalen your star or someone else your star and then have your other two cores on the outside, is that necessarily a horrible idea?
Yeah, I mean, don't even have to move Dalen out over to star. I mean, you could if you want to. I mean, he's shown the ability that he can cover anybody. But, I mean, why not just put Dalen, DeMello, Ellis out there? I mean, let those guys, and you can rotate them around however you want to do it. But
the only thing I will worry about is run fits.
For sure.
As star. I know due to talking to people over the years that Dalen has cross-trained occasionally, but it's not like you're doing it when – it's not like when, for example, when Kamari just became a star for a game and they just said, hey, go cover Luther.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not necessarily like that. I don't know of a future opponent that is like that.
So why not – so play Jonell on first and second down and then move him back to safety on third down? Or like in third and – distance situations.
I mean, in my opinion, the biggest loss for Kyron Jones is not on third down. It's on first and second
running.
down.
Absolutely.
It's stopping the run. He's your best tackler. Push back on me. Who's a better tackler, right now in open field than number 31?
I would go with probably Jonell, but it's close. I mean, he's top 3.
I feel like 31's on the ball at every snap.
Oh, he's impactful.
If the ball ends up 8+ yards anywhere from the rock or from the starting line of scrimmage, 31's a hat is on the ball.
Definitely.
So I'm not necessarily like super worried about like Ja'Cory plays because he's supposed to be an improvement in the pass coverage unit. Supposed to be. Now, people hunt him. Tennessee hunted him, but I think Tennessee more hunted the concept than hunted the player. I think if Kyron was out there, they would have hunted him. I think if KJ had been rolled down into the boundary for some reason, they would have hunted it. Like they were hunting the concept.
Definitely.
And to be honest with you, we were talking about, I don't know of a football team that's been like, hey, where's 31? Let's go get him.
Yeah.
Not that I can think of, no.
I thought Kyron was playing some of the most unheralded football on this defense.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing well. Again, he's the one that picked up the fumble on the goal line, so he's been in the right spots a lot of the time this year. It sucks losing a guy like that halfway through the year.
No doubt. CJ's the best player in the football team.
mean,
I'm just talking about tackling in open field.
Yeah, and not to move off of that conversation, but the good news is that, 1, Monroe Freeling was not on the injury report, so it looks like he's going to be good to go this week.
Yep.
And then 2, Juan Gasson and Ernest Green were listed as probable.
Yep.
So it looks like you're getting your health back on the offensive line, which is a big
Going to get an
bug.
Ernest Green appearance this week?
Might. I mean, and even if you don't, just knowing that he's over there and he's ready to play for you, having him.
We'll know. We'll know if he's got his drip on, you know. Last couple of weeks, he's shown up with the baggy sleeved undershirt, no wrist tape, no wrist guard, no gloves in pregame. I'm like, buddy, you ain't playing today. You ain't playing today. Make sure you smile and support them teammates, but you ain't playing today. So yeah, no, that's a great point. Who else was on the injury report? Is that it?
The typicals of Ethan Barber was still on it. Talon Taylor was still on it. Thomas Blackshear.
How about for them?
They are
2 names.
3 names are questionable. Running back Logan Diggs, safety Ladarian Clardy, and wide receiver Devin Price.
None.
Yeah,
Do you have numbers on those?
22, 31, and 88.
None of them made my notes.
Yeah, it's no one that I don't think
those
it's.
are not mainstay football players. Now, we know Lane be lying.
Well, usually Lane puts the whole roster.
But yeah, Lane either be keeping things under wraps a little bit too much or overindulging.
You know what's so funny about all of this?
That he does hot yoga.
Well, that's pretty funny.
I'm just kidding. If I had a hot yoga studio right outside this place, I think I might get into it.
Hot yoga is great. Dude.
Something that makes me sweat that I don't have to lift weights with anymore. I'm good with that.
Every single week, over the last few weeks, including this week, it happened again. There's been reports of Trinidad Chambliss expected to start for Ole Miss as Austin Simmons continues to deal with an ankle injury. Austin Simmons hasn't been anywhere on these injury reports.
Yeah, I think that's some protecting of the image.
Yeah, I mean Kirby's doing this too. I mean, I don't want to. There was a player in the defensive backfield that didn't play.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Sorry.
That's fair.
See, one of my worst nights tonight. My brain's just not working.
Gotta keep going.
Yeah, gotta power through. No, you're right. There's some. It's a groin. It's a hammy. Not on the injury report. Not playing. Weird. You know,
Suspicious.
We're suspicious to say the least. Y'all want film notes?
Let's hear
I
'em.
love film notes.
I got exhaustive, thoughtful film notes. I don't have a film for you, though. And I know we're already getting hell for that in the chat right now. Not my fault. It is my fault. I didn't have a spare backup. My father taught me this in construction. You can't have one excavator. You need to have one excavator and one near in case the one excavator goes down, because then the excavator's down. And now we can't do no work because the whole day is cooked. So I should have had a backup adapter here, but our HDMI adapter going into our iPad that we do all of our film study on has gotten a short in it. We just grind too much tape, Jonathan. Just grind too much tape up in the studio at this point in the season. I mean, I don't think anybody. I know we haven't produced as much film study as we have this season in our lifetime. I mean, there's been more film studies go out this year than ever before. But all that is. All that excuse making got to my throat. All that being said, we will have a film study for you guys tomorrow. I will record it in the morning when these cables get in here. Got some film notes for you either way. Let's start with Ole Miss's defense. I think that's the one that everyone has the most questions about, or at least haven't been talked to about. I always want to know when I go to scout an opposing defense, what do opposing offensive coordinators think about this unit? In other words, how are they attacking? In their opening script, when they come out and play football, those first 6, 7, 8 plays, those first 2 or 3 series, what is the coordinator hunting? What is the coordinator looking for? What does he think he has an advantage to do? And Washington State had 2 objectives in that football game. They thought they could do 2 things, and they did it for 4 quarters. 1, hunt number 4, Centurion Perkins, hunt him in the run game. They ran every single run concept, maybe not everyone. I'm going to say 75% of their run concepts in the first quarter and a half of that football game were directly at number 4's face to success as well. And the other thing that they obviously very clearly had ambitions to do and successfully did was extensions of the run game. Short throws in the flat area and making defensive backs not only shed blocks, but then make tackles in the open field. Successfully did so. All right, so that's the first thing I noticed when I turned on the tape. They were hunting Centurion Perkins, and they were hunting those screens in the flat, okay? I got some players that you need to know. All right, players that you're going to see on Saturday, and you're going to go, my God. First and foremost, number 51, Xavier Harris, the defensive tackle. Guys, he's 6'8", 333 pounds. You hear that? 6'8". And when you hear a 6'8" defensive lineman, I think immediately like Calais Campbell, but Calais ain't even that big. Calais is like 6'6", and that's a fun name to say, Calais Campbell.
How big was Terrence Cody?
400 pounds.
Like how tall was
Bigger wide than was tall.
Yeah.
I mean, he was 6'6", but he just 450 pounds.
Yeah.
That was the Terrence Cody about him. But the thing about Xavier is he don't move like he's 6'8".
No.
He's a little bit knee knocked, but he's a good athlete. Like he gets after it. He can get flat down the line of scrimmage. He can make moves, and obviously he can cloud passing windows. You need to know about Centurion Perkins on 4th down. I still think he can beat you with edge rushes, all right, with speed rushes. I still think he can get you if you're in 3rd and long. They're very, very, very similar to you guys in personnel. Or not in personnel, but in identity, philosophy, what they do, right? They're a 4-2-5 mint front nickel-based structure. That's who they are. They have a jack body type. They got a defensive end body type. They got a 6'2", 230-er. They got a 6'6", 290-er, right? Like they play it relatively similar to what you normally do in terms of your structure and identity. Massive nose with a twitchy 3-tech. I mean, what's that sound like?
2021.
You know what I mean? It's who you are in your core and what you try to be. Mixed coverages with similar principles. And what do I mean by that? They'll do things like flip the corner to the number 3 receiver and roll the nickel back over or roll the safety over when you get into nub, right? When you have an attached tight end into the boundary and you go 3 wide receivers to the field, they'll just rotate the corner back over there. They're not going to leave the corner in the short side of the field to have run support. They'll just travel him over there. We started noticing Georgia do this probably 3 or 4 years ago. They do the same thing. They'll leave the corner against 3-by-1 in man-to-man coverage and meg coverage every once in a while. What?
LaDainian Guinan has canceled his visit to Georgia.
Well, that check hit quick, huh?
Apparently.
That's you need some encouragement not to be in Athens this weekend. We got that. That agent's doing a masterful job down there.
Masterclass.
Masterful job. Where are we at?
Talking about 3-by-1, they'll move the meg corner over.
3-by-1. If you line up in trips and leave an X on the backside, they'll play meg coverage until that guy beats you. And then they'll roll bracket over the top of them, just like you do. If you get into trips bunch, for example, they'll play point with brackets, right? Same thing you do. They have very similar principles to what you do defensively. Offensively, what do you think the common fan thinks about the start to Ole Miss last week offensively?
Probably that Trinidad Chambliss was playing really bad football.
Right? Or that they were sputtering out of the gates, or that they were a slow starting football team, or that it just looked like poop because you look up and it's 10-0 and you're like, uh-oh, they must have, done some crap. I looked at it today. First possession, they walked it down to the 4. Turnover on downs, Ole Miss style.
Classic.
Going for it on 4th down, inside the 4, just classic Ole Miss. But walked it. It wasn't like, 3 and out, slow start. Second possession of the football game, they're walking it again. Till did it 4th time. Till Trinidad Chambliss misses a man beater. They got a winner right there in front of them on 2nd and 11. Going to put them in an opportunity for a 3rd and medium, 3rd and short. Instead, he takes an explosive down the field. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd and 11, and they end up, I think, throwing another incompletion on that. Here comes the field goal unit. Missed the field goal. Now they've gone 2 possessions, ran about 17 plays, have 0 points to show for it, and move the football. The third possession, they're doing it again. They are walking the ball, get it all the way down to the 28-yard line, despite the fact that they took a tremendously bad hold. All right? One of the most penalized teams in all of football, by the way.
That's good.
Is Ole Miss. They're moving the football. And then what happens? Fumble on the 28. So their first 3 possessions, Christian, they put up 150 yards of total offense to 0 points on the scoreboard.
Ooh.
So that's how that happens. You know what I mean? That's how you end up getting into a situation where you have nothing to show for what is an actual offense that puts up points.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, they had 440 yards of total offense in that game and put up 24 points. If I did the math today. If I gave you the ball at the 25-yard line and said, hey, just march it 75 yards and do that until you reach 440 yards, you'd score 5.8 times. You would have scored like 46 points in this football game.
Yeah.
Right? That's human error messing up the data points, right? That's all that is.
Yeah, I mean, I think looking at that game alone was definitely a statistical anomaly that people are absolutely recognizing. But I do think that also it does show you that they are gettable. There are instances where they will make mistakes that you can take advantage of. Lane Kiffin will go for a lot on 4th down. You can get turnovers that way.
So those are film notes. I do want to go back and talk slightly about this LaDainian Guyton news. Not only that he canceled his visit, I think we know what happened there. Also that he's reclassing. I wish my phone wasn't dead right now, and I'm going to find it. But I have data sent to me by a director of player personnel in the SEC. They've done research on these reclass kids, and I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't great. It is not a great history of these kids that have decided they're going to jump a class and go into the next one. And in college, it just doesn't pan out all that well. Vamp for me right quick if you can, Kirby. Let me see if I can find this reclassification chart.
It makes sense to me, though, because the reclassification purpose has always, in my opinion, been the team comes to you and says, hey, we need you here now. And especially in this day and age of NIL, you can get some monetary compensation for doing so. I'm willing to bet, and I don't want to make speculations and I don't want to say anything, but I do want to guess that Texas Tech called the LaDainian Guyton and said, hey, we want you. We've got you committed. We love you. We want you here as soon as possible. We need you here as soon as possible because they've invested a ton of money into this kid. So the idea that you're going to have to invest all of this money and wait around for another recruiting cycle to come in and let the Georgias and the Texases and the other big teams of the world that are recruiting try and counteroffer you, which will drive up the price, I wouldn't play around with it. Go ahead and get him on campus now. Bring LaDainian Guyton here and let's get him to be a starter for us.
I found it. All right, I'm not going to go through this whole list because actually it's not that long. These are just the quarterbacks. These aren't even this is all of them. All right, here we go. John David Booty reclassified. He was a backup for several years and started for a couple years, was a 5th-round draft pick. Was a 5-star coming out of high school. I don't know if that necessarily lives up to the hype. Mark Walton, a running back that went to Miami, productive college career, 4th-round pick. Did some things off the field. Jake Bentley was a reclassification, the South Carolina guy. Early success at South Carolina, transferred around a ton, never really played a bunch.
That team was bad, though.
Yeah, that team was bad. Quinn Ewers is an example of this, right? Reclassed early. I think some people would say probably could have used another year in college football as is, and he rushed himself into the process. Desmond Ricks, Elias Ricks' brother, yeah. Right? Not doing well. This chart at the time when this was given to me, 0 career snaps during his collegiate career. Davey Belfort is an example of this, the Virginia Tech quarterback, the UFC fighter's son. He reclassed.
Oh, Viter's son?
Yeah, Viter Belfort. I don't think he's playing. JT Daniels is an example of this. One of the highest rated quarterbacks in the history of the sport, or history of recruiting rankings, reclassed, didn't turn out all that well. You remember the name Tony Grimes?
Vaguely.
Oh,
5-star defensive back.
Played in North Carolina, right?
Played in North Carolina, transferred to A&M, and I don't think he's playing for A&M right now.
Oh, he was playing at North Carolina at like 17 years old.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Yeah, he reclassed. Didn't turn out well. Gavin Wimsett is the Rutgers starting quarterback right now. That's turning out okay. There's a lot of 0 career snaps. Desmond Ricks, TJ Capers, Miles Jackson, a lot of names you don't know because they never played. Antonio Jackson, Zach Myers, Austin Mack, the quarterback for Alabama right now. Emmanuel Okoye, reclass to Tennessee. Austin Simmons is a reclass kid. Like, dude, we're not talking about a whole bunch of first-rounders here, guys.
No, it doesn't.
That's
go
all
well.
I'm saying. That's the whole point. LaDainian Guyton, when I first saw him at 14, I was like, that kid's going to be a first-rounder. And now here we are. We're skipping a year of development. And I don't even know how much development we got down there this year at Benedictine Military. I'm going to be honest with you. So I worry about the long-term future of somebody who at 14 years old, I was like, that might be the best football player I ever watch. And I don't know. He can get after the passer, though. He can definitely get after the passer. Do you have any other thoughts on that, guys?
Nah, I think we're good on there.
All right. Let's get back to the locals. What do y'all got? Y'all want to do fantasy?
Yeah,
fantasy
we could just
update
kind
for
of
the
go
folks?
over this real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
So we accidentally skipped over the Kentucky week, so just to recap that one.
Who won?
I ultimately won. Shout out to Dylan Bell. He scored me 86 points that week. That was a massive difference maker in that one. I can't remember the exact score, but I think it was somewhere around Kirby had 105, and then I had 223, I want to say.
Cooked me.
So picked up another win there, which closed the gap to 3-2. This week, however, Kirby bounced back. He got the win, so now Kirby's up 4-2. Kind of the trend this year is it's not close. Whoever wins, they're winning by a decent amount. I picked up I don't want to say load. I picked up Dwight Phillips, and he hasn't been as productive as he was at the beginning of the season. But
You picked up a what?
I picked up Dwight Phillips.
What's his nickname?
Lil Nut.
You picked up a nut?
No, I did not.
Picked up a little nut.
I did. I picked
Oh.
up Lil Nut. And so in return, I had to drop Lawson Lucky. And so me keeping Dylan Bell has paid off for me. It got me an extra win last week, but still playing from behind the sticks here in this one. So Kirby still holds the lead in the fantasy update.
Man, imagine if there was a place where you could play daily fantasy.
Ooh, I'd like
You know
that
what I mean?
place.
Imagine if there was a place like our friends over at Sleeper, the number one place for daily fantasy and player props. All right, head over there today and use Sleeper. Is a fantasy sports real money gaming app focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming. Sleeper has become the fastest organically growing fantasy platform in the world with over 6 million active users while earning some of the highest levels of engagement per user in the industry. Use promo code Brooks today and you'll get up to $100 on your first time deposit. Again, promo code Brooks, terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms and conditions for terms and conditions and details. Currently operational in over 25 states, boys.
That's more than
including
half.
the 5 state of Georgia.
It's more than half. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Glass half full. Shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. Sigh of relief after this football game?
Yeah, it just kind of got me thinking. I think last weekend was a sigh of relief somewhat because you got that was your last big road test going to Jordan Hare. Now you have a neutral site against Florida, a neutral site against Georgia Tech. Then you got to go at Mississippi State. Those are the only 3 games you have remaining that won't be in Sanford Stadium this year. So I think that one was a sigh of relief. But this one in particular because Texas, not exactly what you thought it would be. Plus, you get them at home. Florida, who knows what they're going to look like by the time Georgia plays them. If Billy Napier does indeed get fired this weekend, the players will be intact, but we've seen what that injury report looks like, and we just don't know what that will look like. Now, you might get an interim head coach that kind of rallies the troops a little bit. We've seen that happen this year. And then also, like, Georgia Tech becoming one that you're still kind of thinking about. Like, got to close the season there. They're playing good football. They gave you a test last year, still playing really well, but in the grand scheme of things, like as far as like major tests go, this might be kind of your last one, I would say.
Yeah, the way I look at it, right? I mean, based off the reports today, Florida's going to have an interim football coach, right? Sounds like
You
it.
would think so.
Most likely. You got an interim first game coaching appearance there in that matchup. I know it's a rivalry football game, but who knows how many players do the whole, I sure would like to have my shoulder operated on. You know what I mean?
Right.
At Mississippi State, like, dude, can they protect Blake Chafin at all? Mm-hmm. I thought after 2 weeks, Mississippi State, after the Tennessee football game, people were like, okay, maybe Mississippi State's a tough out. I was one of these teams. Left tackle gets hurt midway through the third quarter. They're turnstile. They're an absolute turnstile. They'd be better off with J. Will playing left tackle right now. I mean, it's tough.
Damn.
So I don't know how you keep the guy upright enough to score enough points like they need to seemingly do. The Texas game, is Arch comfortable by then? Like, he looks like he's improving. There's no doubt the offense is more efficient. The offense has changed. It's matched their inefficiencies. It's matched, I should say, deficiencies in terms of their roster. But is he like, I'm going to go on the road and throw for 285 and a win?
Yeah.
By the time he gets to that point, maybe next year.
And like,
but it's been slow progression right now, and we're talking about 3 games from now.
and not to take anything away, not to just like rip points off the board for Texas this past weekend, but one of those touchdowns was a special teams touchdown. That wasn't the offense marching down the field. So you are a 16-6 game offensively speaking against that defense. You're going to face another tough one on the road at Georgia. I mean, what does that offense look like? Can you manufacture enough offense against Georgia to win that game?
Also wonder how much of that, like, we're going to have sudden checks in the flat, caught Oklahoma off guard. You know, they were deep flooding. You know, they were trying to cover what normal Texas offense is, which is 2 and 3 man concepts, 30 yards down the field, trying to gut you through the pass right about now. Charlotte's a dub.
You would hope
Charlotte's a
so.
dub. That Georgia Tech game, that might be 2 top 10 football teams by then.
It might be two.
Very
It
well
might be an
could be.
undefeated team.
Yeah.
I mean, the ACC, dude, that's just
Yeah, not to
it's
spoil
not good football.
Not to spoil one of my what ifs, but one of my what ifs in the National Hour was the potential of 3 ACC teams making the playoffs, because I don't know if anybody has paid attention. Go check out Virginia's remaining schedule right now. Virginia doesn't play anybody for the remainder of the year. We know what Miami's deal is. We know what Georgia Tech's deal is. I mean, just saying.
What's the answer to Kyron's injury? Jonell back there, question mark? Response, that shit like Fort Knox. So you won't be getting any nugs out of me on that one. I ain't going to go digging into Fort Knox. That's a good way to get shot.
Yeah, you don't typically want to.
That's a good way to get shot.
But no, the sigh of relief thing, yes, you do say that, okay, on paper, this is our last tough test. And you do look down the road, and it's, yes, Texas is very clearly struggling. Mississippi State might not be as good as we thought they were going to be. All of these things. I've adopted this theory, and I said it last week on the show, or earlier this week on the show, of things we learned. The on-paper wins are not on paper anymore. Like, you have to go in each week expecting and anticipating that, okay, this is another test for us. This is something we have to answer, because Penn State went into UCLA with their 35 fans and said, on paper, this is a win for us. We don't have to do anything. And 2 weeks later, their coach is fired. So we've talked about it before ad nauseum. The amount of parity and the amount of close games that you have in college football now, I don't feel comfortable saying, all right, we can breathe a sigh of relief after this game. I do understand what we're saying, though, as to how this is kind of on paper the last real test that you have to worry about. But I don't think there's any time to kick your feet up.
How many of these football teams, like Brent Key's football team at Georgia Tech, will be impacted by "is my coach leaving" storylines come November?
I mean, there's going to be a handful of them.
Brent Key's keep yawning, by the way. Brent Key is one of these football coaches that's going to be put up for these jobs. Already is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just Texas and Charlotte, because Charlotte has their first-year head coach.
But I mean,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
but I mean,
Like
Glenn,
Lane's going to have to fight off the Florida stuff immediately. Immediately. Not this week, but next week it's going to start. Next week it's going to be Lane Kiffin trolling Florida fans and trolling the media at the press conferences.
yeah, I mean, who's to
Win,
say?
lose, or draw.
Who's to say Glenn Schumann isn't fighting those off right now?
Oh, I
as
know.
well?
It's every football team. You're going to have to start thinking about this, is what I'm saying. How many of these late season games are impacted by coaching moves? Because these firings are happening, in my opinion, earlier than ever before, are they not?
They're happening fairly early.
Yeah.
But I think you're also seeing
In terms of the calendar.
well, I think it's also very profound torpedoes that we've seen. Like Penn State loses 3 games in a row, 2 of them are to unranked opponents. Like that in itself is very profound.
I know this is local hour, but dude, if Mike Norvell loses to Stanford this week,
That was one of my what ifs.
you gotta go.
It's one of my
You
what
gotta
ifs.
go. So I don't know. There's a lot going on in the college football world. I've told you guys, and I don't mean to throw up alarms or anything like that. I just don't think I don't think it would be sound mental thought processes to just continuing to assume that, Glenn Schumann's never going to leave.
Oh, I think it's definitely in the back of your mind now. Like,
Because no matter how much people are finally throwing him under the bus as fans, it's always been Bobo, the redheaded stepchild. But I've seen Schumann getting some smoke nowadays. Just be careful, man. This is one of the highest higher regarded football coaches in college football.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be treated as such during this massive layoff of football coaches that we're going to see. And we should have known this was coming. The idea that everybody made it out of the season alive last year in the SEC, insanity.
Correct.
Well, you know
Insanity.
what? You know what? I mean, I think we stumbled into this as a show, and I feel like we haven't even recognized it at all. About how
we don't pat ourselves on the back all that much, we don't love on ourselves all that much.
But what I was gonna. I remember when the House versus NCAA stuff was happening, we got into the discussion of teams may not want to fire their head coaches right now because they have no idea how much money they're about to have to send off to pay off for all of this, like what they're going to have to do, like what their expenses look like, all that stuff. Well, now that's behind us. Like that is finished. We're done with that. Now, the season right after that, we see coaches getting fired and let go left and right.
Now we know NIL Go and Deloitte's a fraud, so let's just go ahead and fire our football coaches.
I don't think
we're worried they might be real.
I don't think it's like direct ties, but I would also say it's not a coincidence.
A coinky dink, as one might say.
Yeah, not a coinky dink. Just saying.
What's your thoughts?
On what, the coach firing process? Or, I mean, it makes sense also where you also had a bunch of expectations that were set on a lot of the guys that were fired. Like, Florida was a top 15 team to start the season. Penn State was a national title contender. Like, a lot of these guys that are getting fired and dropping like flies right now are either failing to meet expectations drastically or their teams are just that bad.
Some people looked at that Florida schedule and said, you know what? Playoff team.
Yeah, I don't understand. I never understood that.
That was insane.
Banged up quarterback. Guy hasn't practiced all year. Looked kind of shaky last year for most of the season. Really tough schedule.
Completion percentage guy.
Coach almost got fired.
Threw it to the other team a lot.
10-2 playoff team.
10-2. 8th ranked. Playoff team. It's crazy to me. I mean, I get it. My Dukies. I understand that.
Look, I mean, it's easy to fall in love with right on cue. It's easy to fall in love with a quarterback, and that'd be the only reason why you think a team is a playoff. But
what an idiot! What an idiot!
There's a lot of teams around college football right now where if you just pick the quarterback, and a lot of people did, those teams are not looking like playoff teams at the moment.
Nope.
It's Wednesday.
It is a Wednesday. Do you want What If Wednesday? I have positional breakdowns if you want those. I want to do national and local What If Wednesday. Squeeze them together right now.
Oh,
all right,
okay.
we can do
You
that.
want to do that? First, what if? What if you start hot this weekend, Georgia versus Ole Miss? What if Georgia comes out, starts hot, and then goes just uber cold? Like an inverse. What do? Does your fan brain just explode?
Then you don't have a starting problem. You have a 4 quarters problem. And I would say that's just as big, if not bigger. Like, the fact that for, like I said, about 18 months now, Georgia football has failed to put together 4 quarters of a really good football game is very alarming. Now, the bad half has come in the first half traditionally, but if it comes in the back half, it's just as alarming.
Yeah, it is.
Big time.
Huge.
Big time alarming.
Dang.
Big time. Major fire alarms.
I'm usually pretty good at not slipping up on those, but I got caught there. It's tough.
You fell for the banana in the tailpipe.
It's a ditty.
I had one similar to you, but I said, what if Georgia only gets slightly better in the first half, but they just remain where they're at in the second half? Like, instead of you score 3 points in the first half, we'll upgrade you to 10. We'll give you 7 instead of 3.
I like that.
We'll give you we turn the field goal into a touchdown.
It's like 17-7 instead of 17-3.
Yeah, so maybe you're still consistently down like 10-7, 14-7, but
marginal improvement.
You are shut down for the remainder of the year in the second half.
You know what? It's about small changes. It's about climbing the mountain one step at a time, Jay Will. I like that. I like that. It's a good thought process. Hey, what if in 2025, Matt Rule, a Penn State alumnus, says no to Penn State in order to stay at Nebraska? Alumnus.
I didn't know alumnus.
Alumnus.
I didn't know he was an alumnus.
I got a fat tongue, Jonathan. Give me a break. What if? What if in 2025 Matt Rule's like, you know what? I know I graduated at Penn State. I know I met my wife there. I'll pass. I like my job at Nebraska. What does that say about the state of college football? What does that say about the state of the job at Penn State?
I mean,
I think it
don't-
tells you way more about what people think about Nebraska.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an indictment on Penn State. I mean, you've got a guy that's building something there that he would rather not have to leave it and start over. As much as, yes, it would be your alma mater, I don't know if necessarily it's saying Penn State, oh, man, that job sucks. Not even Matt Rule wants
Is that thing folded up, crumbled over there?
No, I can get it for
That
you.
tinfoil hat? Go on. Give me that thing right here. I'll come get it.
You got to...
I don't know if y'all have read the reports on how this went down at Penn State. Have you?
No.
This is a solo mission. This is an AD acting alone. Didn't make no calls. Didn't have no board meeting. Christian asked a little bit earlier, how's the news get out that Florida's firing their football coach? Because he had a meeting. He met with the boosters. This Penn State AD acting rogue. Guess who his best friend is?
Matt Rule.
Matt Rule made a phone call last week, middle of fourth quarter, watching Northwestern stuff it down the throat of Penn State. Say, you know what? I'm not having this at my alma mater. Calls him, says, hey, you know what, bud? I'm coming back. I'll take that job. You can go ahead and cook that guy. I'll take that job. I'll restore my alma mater back to where it should be, and I'll come back to Penn State. Just keep this on the DL for a little while because I got a 9-3 worthy football team here in Nebraska.
The only concern.
Why are you firing James Franklin this rapidly if you don't know who his replacement is already? That ain't even tinfoil hat. That's a real question.
Because you just lost to 2 unranked teams when you're
as
supposed to.
20-point-plus favorites?
Historically, first person to ever do it. I think.
And you want to be the first to say,
At
hey.
least it's a top 5 preseason ranked football team.
Yeah, and you want to be the first to say, hey, we're open for business. We're looking for jobs. If you know who James Franklin's replacement is, why are you firing him? Like that question could be asked the same way. Like, if you know who the replacement is, why are you pulling the trigger now and
Don't make
making
me take my tinfoil hat off. Hey,
You
what
took
if
it off
Ole
and threw it
Miss
on the ground, man? Come
What
on.
if Ole Miss can run the football too? What if Ole Miss is out here chunking you up in the run game? How do you respond to quarterback run Saturday, chunking you up without exposing your defensive backfield, adding too many bodies to the box?
I mean, I'm not sure if there's a really effective way to do so other than adding defensive bias to the box. I mean, just if you want to say C.J. Allen, wherever Trinidad Chambliss goes, you are following him. I don't care if it is a power. I don't care if it's a QB rollout. I don't care if he stays in the pocket and delivers the entire game. Your job is staying on Trinidad Chambliss. If it becomes that, I mean, that would be the only thing. But obviously that leaves you up to other vulnerabilities. So the ideal answer is they don't have to worry about that, and they can stop the run with a light box like they always have done or always have aimed to do.
I mean, if they do start gashing in the run, then that certainly opens things up for them in the passing game a lot more, and that's a scary thought. So hopefully it doesn't happen. What if Ellis Robinson and Melo Jones continue just to improve every single week? Kind of like we expected them to, but I think that the Auburn game was like first legitimate proof of these guys are going to figure it out.
Jonathan, they would be considered Georgia football players.
Oh.
Because that's what they do. I don't know of very many football players that didn't get better within their first 10 starts at the University of Georgia. If they did, they stopped playing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else was playing for them. So they all get, I'm going to say exponentially, they all get substantially better in their first 10 to 12 starts at Georgia. No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
They get experience, they
And I
get
think
reps, and they're uber talented.
And there's like so much proof of concept for this at the defensive back position. Like
Yeah.
these guys always get better the more and more reps they get in the game.
Hey, guys, what if Penn State beats Iowa this weekend? And more importantly, what if Ethan Grunkmeyer just looks phenomenal?
Who?
The backup quarterback for Penn State.
Attaboy. You know what? I hope that's an Ashton Genty Who birth of Ethan Grunkmeyer right there. I hope that's a Film Guide Network Ashton Genty-esque birth.
I didn't know if we were
Ethan
talking
Grunkmeyer.
about like a staffer.
So we can clip this
or-
when he wins a Heisman or finishes second to a dual sport athlete, a dual position athlete. We can clip that one and have you look
A
at like,
guy,
who?
look, no disrespect because I just found out who you were 2 seconds ago, but a Grunkmeyer winning the Heisman might be the most oralist Heisman winner ever.
Wait till you see Ethan. Wait till you see the
All right.
Grunkmeister.
I'm excited. I'll be paying attention.
I hope he goes out and shreds just so I can come on here on Sunday and say, you dum-dums, y'all got to be going live on quarterbacks.
Well, since we're on the hot topic of Penn State.
I mean, to answer your question, though, who cares? You already fired him. Like, there's nothing that's going to further solidify or further be like, oh, we shouldn't have fired James.
I think it'd stick the knife and twist it just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more of a bad look for you because then it becomes, what took you so long to fire James?
Well, you didn't like that one, Kirby. What about this one? What if last week was the preview to an impending explosion at the quarterback position for the Georgia Bulldogs? We saw substantial growth with regards to at least efforting, throwing against zone over the middle of the field. What if that was the cracking of the bell, if you will, or the cracking of the seal, and now we're full explosion?
I mean, that's what you needed to see. Like, I don't think you necessarily needed to see him complete every single ball that he threw, but the fact that, one, because, like, you're seeing the stages of progression here. The first stage was he's seeing it, he's looking at it, he's just not throwing it. Now we got to get him confident enough to throw it. Number two, he was confident enough to do it in a road environment against Auburn. So there's your second part of, okay, now he's actually throwing it. The third part is now we just got to complete it.
Why is my Discord popping like crazy right now? I mean, why are y'all not supposed to be watching Local Hour right now? I mean, lock in, boys. I'm glad Unk's in there holding the business down. That's all great news, fine and dandy. And if you want to get in that Discord, patreon.com/PricksAustin. But damn, that thing's popping right now for no apparent reason. They just talking ball. Can't get them to stop talking ball. Come talk it over here.
Going back to the Penn State stuff, what if everyone just says no to Penn State? And I don't mean everybody, but I mean, like, what if Signetti's like, nah, I'm good?
Plausible.
What if Matt Rule's like, I'll stay at Nebraska?
Plausible.
What if Matt Campbell's like, I'm good at Iowa State?
Implausible. Buddy, wasn't he like 6-6 2 years ago? Yeah, no. And by the way, this is a guy who turned down $7 million a year from the Lions.
That's the part
that
you
dude
should have
regrets every minute of his last 4 years out there.
Yeah, that's the kicker right there. Is he has turned down this before?
He's going to earn his right. He and my man Rocco'd up, going to earn the right to get Matt Campbell back in these job searches. He better take this one if he gets a big opportunity.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Saying no at Penn State has a problematic history. What if this is the y'all forgot about these dudes game for Georgia? I'm talking, hey, Oscar Delp about to go off. Dwight Phillips, haven't heard a lot from him, goes off in this game. Noah Thomas gets 5+ receptions. Ella Mendoza getting some sacks. Stuff like that where it's guys you haven't really heard a lot about throughout the season or have kind of tapered off, absolutely explode.
Guys, what if we have a 10-2?
Oh, okay.
What? Am I supposed to respond?
I mean, that was the what if.
What'd you say?
Were you not listening?
No, I was reading chat. I got a DM with a phone number that I need to text later. Dude, I told you, not my best tonight. There's a lot going on.
Well, now
830 people just watched me spaz out.
Jay, well, did you listen to it?
But yeah, I mean, we got injuries going on. We got adjustments going on. I got sources and text messages going on. And you're over here giving me shit about not listening to your what if.
I listened to you, Kirby, so I will respond to your what if. That would be fantastic news for Georgia. I feel like a lot of those would be like really.
I was also making sure the chat didn't pass out after that dead fish you threw in the middle of the floor just a second ago. To be 100% honest,
that'll be fine.
To me, that would feel like the final unlockings of this offense. Like we were just covering Gunnar Stockton, like Oscar Delp having a big game, and I feel like they're trying. Like I continue to see people saying like we're not giving it to the tight ends, we're not throwing the ball to the tight ends, all that. Like I think they're I mean, heck, they got Elias Williams a deep target against Auburn. Like they're trying to get their tight ends involved. So getting Oscar Delp rolling, and by the way, I don't think it's hurting Oscar Delp or Lawson Lucky because Mel Kiper had both of them as top 5 prospects at their position. So
also didn't have Monroe Freeling. So
didn't have Monroe Freeling as a top 10 OT.
Take Mel Kiper's opinions with a grain of salt nowadays.
But nonetheless, getting somewhat recognized for what they're doing. So good for them. But yeah, I think all of that stuff would be fantastic for you, like continuing to see guys
tremendous. Hey, in all seriousness, what if a 10-2 versus 9-3 SEC championship is on the horizon for us?
Could totally see that, and I think that's kind of the direction of the entire sports heading. Like the ironic thing about this is we went into the season saying,
except the Big Ten, but yeah, go ahead.
like the ironic thing about this is we went into the season saying like, okay, the SEC's got these 3 or 4 teams, the Big Ten's got these 3 or 4 teams, ACC they've got 1 or 2, maybe 3, and the Big 12 is wide open. And as we're sitting here now, it's kind of the SEC's still wide open, the Big Ten's kind of narrowed down, but the
I went into the season thinking that 6 SEC teams had an opportunity to realistically compete for a title. So
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was 3 or 4. Now, at this point in the season, I think that number has dwindled down to probably maybe 3 or 4, right? That can actually like go win one, not just make it or qualify for 10 and 2, but like go win one. But the reason I put this on here, guys, is because I was looking at ESPN today, and we have 8 SEC games going on today. Only 2 members are this weekend. Only 2 member schools are off this weekend. And in those 8 matchups, no, that's all 16. 8 SEC games is all 16. Either way, in those 8 SEC games, the average line from Vegas is 6.75. It's under a touchdown. The biggest line this week is 12.5 points, and it's because Texas is playing Kentucky.
2 years ago, that's 22 points.
Yeah. I mean, Georgia had a run there in 2022 where they were favored by 21 points 3 weeks in a row in the SEC.
It was like Florida was a 24-point line. I think Missouri was close to a 20-point line that year on the road or somewhere close. But, yeah, I mean, it seemed like every single conference game that Georgia walked into that year, they were at least 15-point favorites. Like, you don't see that anymore. It's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we talked about with the margins getting thinner. Like, the elite teams aren't as elite as they once were, and the bottom feeders aren't bottom feeders anymore. I mean, Vanderbilt's a top 25 team. Kentucky is probably the worst in the conference right now. That's the one where it's like, okay, that's an automatic dub.
And they played Ole Miss close.
Yeah, but Mississippi State, teams like that, they're scrappy now where it's not necessarily automatic W's, automatic blowouts, but you're going to actually show up.
Billy in the chat wants to know, how does Chambliss run? Is it scramble or design run? Both. He is a running back playing quarterback that can spin the pill. That's the way I feel about him. He is a dynamic runner. That's why I asked the question I asked to Kirby on press conferences on Monday. It's like, hey, how has he changed their running game? Not just as obviously he's balancing counts, but this dude's explosive. This dude is arguably their most explosive runner. I know Kewan Lacey's really, really good. He's making people miss. But who's got the longest run on that football team this year? Do that for me. I bet Trinidad Chambliss has got a 60-yard ripper because I think I've seen a couple of them on tape. But that's the type of runner that he is. He's explosive. Where were we at?
I think we're still doing What If Wednesdays.
What if Auburn loses again and feels as if they got absolutely hosed by the referees for the 3rd time in 3 weeks?
I think at some point,
Well, 3rd time in 4 weeks.
I do think at some point, though, there's obviously going to be the narrative that referees have it out for Auburn, and that's understandable. I understand that. But at some point, you do have to hold accountability. And we saw more and more Auburn fans doing this against Georgia, where it was like, yeah, we got hosed on that fumble play, but we still looked horrible in the second half. There were some Auburn fans holding that accountability. If you have something similar like that happen, unless it's just like the game-winning call is taken away from you, it's so egregious. Like, I think Auburn fans are going to start saying, we're done blaming refs.
People asking Jalen Milroe comps? Hell no. Jalen Milroe had some of the worst running ball carrier instincts I've ever seen. Never delivered blocks. Never hit reads properly. If the lane wasn't open and he couldn't stick his foot in the ground and go for 70, there was no creative explosives, in my opinion. Do you remember a Jalen Milroe play where he's like delivering a block, lets it happen, or reads the key right, or is he just foot in the gas go until he stops?
Foot in the gas
It's
go.
all making dudes miss in space and stuff.
I don't even think there was much of that. I thought he was a run away from you guy. His entire career.
Yeah, no, he was.
That's my opinion. This kid is stop and make you miss, start and stop, can run in between the tackles really effectively and get down without getting hit and struck well. This dude is a running. Dude, hey, look his D2 stats up for me, Jonathan. I want to say this guy had 800 rushing yards last year in Division II football, and he started for 2 years. I want to say this guy has had over 160 career rushing attempts. I'm dead serious. This guy has been putting it up on the ground for a long time, This guy's been putting up numbers on the ground his entire career, if my memory serves me correct. I thought he was like a 2,800, 800 guy last year in D2 football.
Last season, he threw for 2,925 yards, and then he also rushed for 1,019.
Makes sense.
He's a runner.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't just a fast, athletic guy.
No.
He's got instincts.
Mm-hmm.
Also, she probably shouldn't have gone that far under the radar.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have been, you're going to Temple or you're going to back up Ole Miss. That shouldn't have been that kid's two options. We're thinking two down on Division II football. Because I know for a fact he shredded Valdosta State.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. So there's that. Valdosta State might as well be Charlotte.
What if Chauncey Bowens isn't 100% for this game? Now, I know that he's not on the injury report, but he was banged up against Auburn. You saw his carries taper off because of that. Is that going to be a red flag if he's not necessarily getting 9, 10, 11 yards?
Oh, yeah, burn the boats, panic. No, I'm just kidding. What was it? Groin? Hamstring?
They said it was a calf soreness.
It was muscle. It was a muscle problem.
Yeah.
Right? I think you ride that one out and lean on the other guys in the room. They're good enough.
Mm-hmm.
This is a break glass type situation. Get that kid healthy.
The final what if I'll give here is, what if you get last weekend's version of C.J. Allen for the rest of the year?
Butkus Award
Now that he's
winner.
healthy, not dealing with an injury.
Cuidado on that, bud. He ain't going to automatically win the Butkus, even if he plays like that every single week. There's some great linebackers.
There's
in
some
college
great
football now.
linebackers.
Arvell
but-
Reese is going to win the Butkus. I'm just telling you. That kid's going to get Micah Parsons comps if he's not already getting them. And then after that, it'll probably, if it's not him, it'll be Torian York from A&M. C.J. Allen's playing great football, but there's other players playing great football.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. He's playing great football. Best of his career, top 60 eval, great NFL football player, is going to do great. So I don't mean to act like he's not, but there's other great football players. So
Yeah, but I mean, if he plays like he did against Auburn for the next 7 games, including if there's a conference championship, it'd be hard to argue
You're
against
right.
that.
Because they got some big premier matchups moving forward.
They do have that.
I mean, he had 2 or 3 turnover-worthy plays in that game.
You're my hooper over there, Jay Will.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like when you're going through a slump or you're going through a dry spell, and then you get a tough bucket to go down? You know, one go down.
I mean, that's just a biggest relief. It's
Yeah.
like, finally, god dang. Like now you don't worry about it. Your mind's not on it anymore. Like you just keep pushing through.
I feel like you broke the curse almost.
Yeah, you know, you
The
break the
monkeys
cap
off your back,
the
all that
rim.
stuff. Yeah, break the cap off the rim. I've never heard that. It's a new idiot,
Yeah.
basketball
You
idiom
know,
right there.
they say all the time, like, oh, there's a lid on the bucket right now, and then you finally break one through.
I think the lid came off the bucket last week for Noah Thomas.
Ooh.
What if he just needed to see one go down?
Yeah, you didn't even just get him a touch. You got him
A touch.
big explosive touch.
A big explosive touch.
I mean, I don't doubt it.
Which, by the way, it's been understated because there's no real statistical way to prove it. I think he has been the most pass interfered player on your team.
Fair.
I feel like every game that there's a target to him, it results in a pass interference and you move the ball 15 yards.
I'm not saying you guys weren't locked in here, but when I broke down Ole Miss's defense in terms of the notes, I talked about attacking Centurion Perkins in the run game, running counter at him, running pin and pull at him, running whatever you call that play where the one guard pulls outside and we're trying to run basically stretch outside, and attacking him in the flat with the screen game. That plays right into your hands offensively.
Yes, it
That
does.
is what you do.
Yes.
You run at weak points. You run at the goats or the donkeys out there, and you make teams tackle you in space in the flat. And they're bad at that, in my opinion. I think it favors you. I really do think there are 300 yards to be had attacking number 4 and attacking the flats in screen games.
Well, especially considering like Zachariah Branch has been one of the more difficult people to tackle in all of college football this year.
So is
Same
Colby
for
Young.
Yeah, I was about to say same
For
for
different
Colby Young.
reasons.
I mean, they made guys. Washington State made guys miss, but a lot of that was just y'all aren't being physical out in the flat. Y'all aren't shedding blocks in the quote unquote Memphis drill, right? Like y'all aren't getting it done. But you're 100% right, dude. Like the idea that you struggle to make tackles in open space, come get you some of Zachariah Branch, arguably the toughest tackle. I mean, statistically proven he is, but arguably the toughest tackle in college football.
And you're
Some weird questions going on in the chat right now.
you're not going to try and
Weird.
you're not going to try and bring the physicality to a guy like Colby Young. I mean, he carried a pile of Auburn football players for 10 yards, dang near scored a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness.
There late in the game.
Somebody asked if I was in the military. Somebody asked if I shaved my legs. The answer
That has
is
to do
no
with the Super
both.
Chub.
Huh?
It has to do with the Super Chub that was asked.
All right, let's get to some Super Chubs right quick, shall we? Y'all got anything else?
No, I don't
I
think,
think we're good.
All right, let's get into some Super
We do have
Chubs
quite a
right
few
quick.
of these.
Where did we stop? I need you to read that CC Grillich. That right there.
I told you, dude. For some reason, I think it has to do with YouTube
It's
crashing
crazy.
today.
I can write it down for you if you want.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm.
Write it down for me. You found another Super Chub. Kirby will write it down for me.
That one dude says, love the show. I met you a few years ago after a Dogs game, and what a unit. Hey,
What?
Also, how different is Georgia's season with Carson? I don't like that hypothetical, to be honest with you. I think you throw the football.
I think
better,
you're
but
still
you're not the running football team. You are. You're
And
still
you're
4-1.
I was about to say
5-1.
you still have one loss.
Yeah. Ken from Cumming says, this is the first time, long time from Ken from Cumming, I think. 75,000 subscribers. Film Guy Network, congrats. Love J. Will and Kirby. We need to talk. Best damn UGA site. Grind the tape.
What we need to talk about, Ken?
I don't know what you need to talk about.
I think he's directing that at me, I guess. I don't know.
Ooh.
Love J. Will and Kirby. We need to talk.
Ah.
Yeah, there's a comment, the comma that needs to be there. Jordan Rowe says, always wondered what the story is with the shell casings on Brooks's desk. Are they sentimental? Good hunting story to go with them. Congrats on 75K. No. They're just there. Just like, they're just there. Was in the Discord and just wanted to pop in while doing schoolwork. Go Dogs. Join the Discord and Patreon. The more that join, the more we can offset Kirby the traitor being an Auburn fan.
Ooh.
Yep. Fun fact, says Cujo, Trinidad Chambliss lit up my hometown college, Valdosta State, in the D2 championship last year. See? Told you. Lit the hell up out of Valdosta State. Good shout from Cujo there, a ball knower. By the way, I sarcastically tweeted about Vince Lombardi taking the Penn State job, and somebody hopped in there with a Fordham joke. That guy, ball knower. Absolute ball knower. That's the deepest ball knower pull I've seen in my chat. Didn't even follow me. I was ashamed. I was ashamed that guy who hopped in my mention with, I heard he's happy at Fordham, with that joke. Bro, he coached at Fordham like 6 stops before the Green Bay Packers. He coached at Fordham in the 20s. That's how deep of a pull that is.
Probably read his big-ass biography.
Huh?
Probably read Lombardi's big-ass autobiography.
He has it.
I'm
I
sure,
hope you know that.
I'm sure he does.
This thing is a Bible.
Yeah.
This thing is an absolute Bible. I mean, this thing's 1,400 pages. There's so much ball knowledge in this thing.
My grandpa read
That
it.
thing has some mileage on it right there.
I mean, I don't play about my ball knowledge, Jonathan. Now, I might have not retained about half of this.
No,
But,
I think
look, here's where we're at.
I think he's talking about the book.
You want
the
to talk
book
about
itself.
you want to talk about come ups? Oh yeah, my grandfather had it first. My grandfather
I was about
gave
to
me
say,
a
that
lot of the
book
knowledge
has
that I got.
been read.
Shout out to Doodad. This is how far we've come. Specifically, I've come. This is a business card that I used to carry. I used to have hundreds and thousands of these. The business card that I used to carry with my first ever podcast name on it. And on the back, it has all of our social media information and a URL that you can't click because it's a freaking business card. A URL.
We had someone pass us a business card to their podcast this past
Yeah,
weekend.
and they actually had like a
QR code.
QR code. That guy was doing work. This is terrible. This is awful.
So, hey, if you're listening, you're doing the right thing. This might be you one day. You might be on the right path right there. You had a Super Chub that you wrote down, the one that I was not able to read.
Yeah, it said that.
Kirby, would you rather pick Bo Jackson or Cam Newton as your favorite Auburn player?
I would go Bo Jackson as my favorite, but I grew up watching Cam Newton.
Thank you for the Super. Who is that, by the way?
I don't remember.
Oh, thank you for the Super Chub. Great question.
It was actually said 6'7". I was trying to get Jay Will to say it because he hates that so much.
Your bad handwriting smeared in the hand a little bit. But by the way, the fact that you wrote that in your hand.
Woo! Not much was expected of Army's 1953 team. 6 players, including the most talented back, Freddie Myers, had been lost to academic failure.
Oh no!
I have a feeling
Talk about overcoming adversity.
I have a feeling this is going to become a new off-season segment of let's just open up the Lombardi book today and
Brooks
see what
just
kind of
starts-
nugs we can find.
He had this guy named MacArthur. I remember this about him. He had this other football buddy named MacArthur. No different than these football coaches nowadays text each other. They have group chats and whatnot. He would send letters
All right, a
back
pen
and
pal.
forth. He had a pen pal, like a football pen pal, and he would send him messages like, quote, "We are off to a good start in the face of some personnel problems," he wrote to MacArthur in a preseason letter. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's a football Bible. I mean, look at the thickness on that guy.
I think we're good.
We'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.